Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Here we go the stretch. Kinley has got to throw a strike. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, line drive, base hit right field. Jorge Polanco with a walk-off single, and the Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. The Mariners win the battle in Seattle in 15 innings. The Mariners win it 3-2. The Mariners will be on their way to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. What an epic game. 15 innings. Jorge Polanco is getting mobbed out in left field.
2 wins to talk about on a Monday, and that doesn't even count the Seahawks nor the Huskies. Shout out to the Dogs for winning as well.
Hey, big against my Cougs, man. You put up a fight against Ole Miss.
You know what they did?
They did.
I tuned into I was getting a massive text thread of a bunch of former Cougs that are in my fantasy football. Sorry, always Cougs. Always Cougs.
Always.
And they were all talking about it, so then I had to tune in and watch the end. I really thought they'd get it done.
It was close.
Good fight. It was close.
Good weekend.
It was a great weekend for just Washington State. As a whole for their sports. Let's start with the Mariners. And I actually want to start with Friday. I know we have game 1 of the ALCS to talk about, and that was a win. And I frankly did not expect that to be a win. I had kind of gone into it going, not a lot of rest. And then the flight was delayed, so it took them a minute to get out here. But it ended up being just a brilliant outing from Miller. Lots of good stuff. Let's start with Friday, though. Where were you watching this one? Because you had a flight to catch for calling a game. And we were all talking about, maybe if you land, it'll still be like the 3rd or 4th. Maybe you can kind of check in. Let's talk about our viewing experience here.
Yeah, it was actually kind of crazy. So someone DM'd me on my Instagram saying that she had watched the Mariners game while flying. I haven't had that experience because I guess the Wi-Fi bandwidth isn't big enough or whatnot. So I'm like, I got excited. I'm thinking, okay, I might be able to watch it. Ordered the $8 Wi-Fi, didn't work. So what I did was I went on ESPN, and ESPN radio was working, so I listened to Roxy Bernstein call the game on my iPad. So I'm listening to it, and then as soon as we start descending, I get reception, so I turn on the game. I'm watching the game on iPad. I go over to get my rental car. Enterprise has no more cars left. I guess they gave my car that the company reserved for me to someone else.
What?
So I'm thinking, all right, actually this is going to work out because I get to Uber. So I Uber and I get to watch the game on my phone. I get to concentrate. So I'm watching the game on my phone. It's about a 30-minute drive to my hotel. I get into the hotel. I'm there every weekend. They know me. I get into my hotel, and as soon as I walk in, they turn on the game for me. Bam, and I go all the way to the bar. I don't even check in. Don't even check in. Excuse me. I don't even check in. I put my stuff down. I'm like, all right, this game's going to be over soon. I'll check in after this.
Yeah.
They see that it's going into extra innings. The front desk lady just brings over my stuff to the table. I'm sitting at and allows me to check in there.
Aww.
I'm watching the game with a whole bunch of Giants fans, and they're saying, why are we watching this game? Because I'm in the Bay. Why are we watching this game? I'm like, because your team ain't in it.
Yeah.
I tell y'all every week, I'm here. Y'all know that I'm
Worry
here.
about you.
I ended up sitting there until about, 9 o'clock or something like that? 9:30? It was a long one.
4 hours and 57 minutes.
It was a long game, but worth the wait. So I listened to some of it in the air. I watched some of it in the Uber.
Yeah.
I finished at the hotel.
Mine was, I was all in the same place, which was sitting on my couch watching it. And I was very nervous. I did not go cover this one in person just because I was like, by the time we're off, we didn't do the show from out there. I was like, traffic's miserable. If I go home, I can at least sit and watch the whole thing instead of, finding parking and getting in there. And it was just a lot of pacing, and it was just a lot of I feel like they should advance. And there was a certain point, I don't know if anyone else felt this way. I'm guessing that many of you did. There was a certain point in extras where even though I thought, oh my God, they're going to blow this. And I had been so negative with you guys. For game 4, I was texting you guys like, I'll never see winning. Everything is bad.
Stacy was on some other stuff,
It got real dark. I'm going to be really honest with you. But for this one, there was a certain point where I thought, I don't think that this is a bad thought. But I was like, I don't know if the Tigers want it as bad right now. I know that's bad.
I hate when people say that. They just didn't want it.
But tell me if I'm wrong. It really did feel like an inevitable Mariners win at a certain point in extras. And everyone was getting mad, rightfully so, because they were leaving runners stranded, and it would be like 2 on, no outs, or 2 on, 1 out, and you still couldn't. And it's like, come on, man, get this job done. But Curtis, I know you were probably texting going like, you know, they need to earn this. Come on.
Yes.
You're throwing this away.
I did get some flashbacks to that 2022 18 inning game. The longer that game went on, and I felt like the longer it went on, the more that Detroit was going to capitalize on all these opportunities. The Mariners left runners on base in extra innings. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it on Friday. Like, it just has felt completely different this year than any other, September, October run that we've seen out of this Mariners team. And Friday was just another example of that. Like, there was I maybe wasn't as doom and gloom as you were, Stacy, on Friday.
I was very doom and gloom. I was doom and gloom. I was anxious. I was a nervous wreck.
There was a part of me that was kind of like, maybe they don't pull this off. Like, maybe this won't happen. But then the Rivas single, I felt like, was a really good omen, even though it happened 8 innings prior to the walk-off when it did eventually go the Mariners' way. But that home run by Carpenter would have broken the backs of the Mariners pre-2025. But they did not allow that to happen. And then obviously the decision to pull Skubal as he was moving right through the Mariners lineup was stunning when it happened.
Yes.
And then the fact that they were able to capitalize the inning he was pulled was incredible.
Talk about both moments first, Leo Rivas.
Rivas, the first time he has batted in the postseason. The 0-1. Swung on, ripped, left field, base hit. Polanco around third base. He's being waved. Here he comes. He's going to score. This game is tied. Leo Rivas. This place has lost its mind.
You hear Mo Bamba in the background. Great call by Gary. I want to talk about managerial decisions on both sides of that. One, A.J. Hinch not just pulling Skubal before I thought he would. And Skubal was still, by the way, that was still four-seamer at 100 miles per hour. Like, he was dealing.
Skubal's performance reminded me of when we used to play SC. Like, you want to beat them, but you see everything they're doing, and all you can do is shake your head like, dang, like, that is a different level of ball we're seeing.
I can't believe Cal got a single off the changeup.
I appreciated everything Skubal was doing. I hated it, but I appreciated it, and it was fun watching it.
Were you surprised to see A.J. Hinch pull him? Because I think in this game, I thought Dan Wilson outmanaged A.J. Hinch on a couple different fronts.
I think Dan Wilson needed to have that feeling, too. He needed to have it and have it reinforced. I don't know how much he listens to people when they talk or whatnot, but it's impossible for him not to hear any kind of rumblings about decision-making or whatnot. So for him to be in that moment, feel like he out-skipped him, I think is important for him moving forward for this year and beyond.
Well, a little like switcheroo of like, okay, I'm going to pinch hit Canzone. Now you're going to put in, what was it, Holton or whatever. Now I'm going to pinch hit Rivas. How do you like that? And then it ends up working out with an RBI single. Like, it just absolutely amazing work by Dan in this one. And I had been critical of a couple decisions earlier in the series, so I want to make sure that I also take a second to be like, and this was amazing. Like, this was just great work by the Mariners staff and by Dan to get this one done, to hang in there. For fans, for being out there. I was listening to Baseball Tonight heading in, and Buster Olney, who's covered I don't know how many games across the country, said this was the loudest venue he'd ever been at, ever in 35 years of covering baseball. Because
they're hungry. These fans are hungry. It's not like an LA fan base. I'm part of it, which expects these things to happen. It's not like one of these upper echelon teams to where, this happens every single year. These fans are hungry. I mean, you got guys crying. There was another guy crying in the crowd that they zoomed in on just off of tying the ball game up. You know what I mean? That's how bad this fan base wants it. So doesn't surprise me at all, man, that he said that about T-Mobile.
Okay. We haven't even gotten to Sunday. Let's get to it, and we're going to start with Miller's Day. First, he gives up not even like a home run to start the game, a first pitch home run by the home team. And Toronto, a team that had been raking against the Yanks in every single one of those games, including in their loss, they still put up 6 runs. Start with a home run by Springer, and you're already thinking, what?
I'm thinking it's one bomb. I'm thinking
you were more
I'm thinking, I'm like, Miller, if he could just get out of this inning. Now, I got a big concern when his pitch count got to 20, 25, something like that.
27 in that inning.
I'm like, all right, but I'm like, just get out of this inning because I feel like there's enough power in our lineup to where you could be able to handle this. The thing that scared me the most about Toronto is that they just don't strike out. They're not a strikeout type of team. The ball is going to be in play. You're going to have to make some plays. But, no, it hurt because it was so loud in there, and I'm looking at Bryce, and I'm thinking to myself, just stay calm. Like, this is going to be a big learning moment for you. If you can get out of this, you can do anything in the world. So it was concerning, but I'm thinking we got enough to handle this.
I could not believe that the game started that way and ended up being what it was, specifically when it comes to Miller's outing and with pitch counts from Codify Baseball. 27 pitches to get through the first, including leaving 2 runners stranded. He walked 2 guys after giving up that home run. 27 pitches to get through the first. After that, 7, 8, 8, 11, 15. 11 and 15 were, quote, the worst.
Right.
8, 8, 8. From Sarah Langs, the Mariners only threw 100 pitches, the fewest by a team to win a postseason game since the Dodgers in Game 2 of the 2018 NLDS.
Come on.
100 pitches.
And to do that on short rest, right? Bryce had, 3 days rest? Everybody and their mama in the bullpen was used just the other day. It's not – I know it's sometimes it's hard for people to fathom, like these guys, 3 days rest, he should be good to go. I challenge people to go out and just toss a ball as hard as you can, just 50 or 60 times, and see how your shoulder, your elbow, and everything else is feeling after that. It was impressive. This was the grittiest game or I would say Friday as well, but Friday was gritty. Sunday was just resilient. You're bouncing back, right? You're finding a way to perform, even though you're gassed up. You're coming off a game full of emotions. It's not a lot of rest. That's fun to watch.
Let's see. Oh, is it Codify? What did I say?
I don't know. What did you say?
I don't know. I don't care. People are picking apart everything. Why don't you be happy about a win? Okay, a couple more minutes here, and I want to get to some more from this game. We're going to talk about kind of our postseason MVP so far at 10:30, so hold off on those answers. That being said, I do want to talk about some of these bats. So Bryce Miller, absolutely phenomenal. The way that he was able to bounce back was great. Cal hitting his 9th home run in 14 games at Rogers Center was crazy, but how about Jorge Polanco with both RBI singles? Well, I should say the only RBI singles Seattle had on the day, but yeah, both of them. Just absolutely amazing to do that coming off of that walk-off win.
Yeah, he's been the most clutch so far this postseason. And it's to think about how we were talking about this dude a year plus ago. To think about how fans were booing him. And I'm not going to tell you not to boo, right? You have your reasons. He wasn't playing good ball. You were promised certain type of performance from him, and he wasn't getting it done at second base. But just the mental toughness this dude has to go from that to being the most clutch bat in the playoffs for these guys right now is remarkable. And I'm happy for him. And we're going to need you a few more times, Polanco.
Someone said there's not a debate on MVP, and then they said their answer. But I'm not going to say it yet because, again, that's our 10:30, and I'm very excited to get to it. This is just it was so weird when we were heading into Friday's game. We wrapped up our show at 2 p.m., and we were like, when we get in here on Monday, either the Mariners are done and they've lost and they didn't play, or we have 2 games. And then the possibilities from that were like, what if they lose game 1? And you're coming in here talking about, it was a fun win, but then they lost. And instead we're talking about 2 wins and 2 really impressive wins for very different reasons. That was one of the best games I've ever seen on Friday. One of the best baseball games I've seen.
Stressful, but yeah.
It was stressful. I tweeted something like, regardless of the outcome, like Seattle has delivered 2 really, really good games, Seattle teams this week. And someone was like, well, it doesn't matter if they don't win. And I was like, but from a national perspective, this was a phenomenal game. Like, if you had no rooting interest whatsoever, you were watching this going, I love playoff baseball.
Yeah. I'm just glad they didn't fall into the thank you speeches you guys were giving them on Friday. I just want to tell them thank you for a good season. No, we want to tell them you got to win this game. And they went out there and showed some grit. And big ups Bizzardo, please. Can we give Bizzardo some love? Like, Bizzardo has pitched in every game up to that point on Friday. Every game he pitched in and hasn't been the most successful. But when you needed him the most, Bizzardo dug deep. And I loved the emotion from Bizzardo.
Yes.
I love the emotion from Munoz.
Yes.
Even from the other side, from the Tigers. This was intense. This was like two Rams posturing. You know how they're about to duck their head and they're about to hit each other? It's like you're sitting there and you know you're about to run into each other over and over and over again. And nobody flinched, man. This was a big moment for this organization and for these individuals when it comes to just the belief in themselves and being able to prove to themselves they can perform when you need it the most.
Oh, I had a really good stat that I saw earlier on Bizzardo. I'm so glad you mentioned him. Oh, this is what it was. From StatHead. Bizzardo's 2 2/3 scoreless produced by far the highest win probability added of any outing this postseason so far, obviously, and the highest in any postseason since 2022.
Let's go.
That was, and I just full disclosure to my fantasy football thread. I said, oh, dang, like he's been pitching every game this series. They might give up a run here. And it wasn't a knock on Bizzardo, but I fully expected it. So just full disclosure, I was very wrong about that. Blew me away.
It was funny looking back, or it was funny on social media on Friday night, seeing the reaction to Bizzardo's outing. And there were people that dug up the original tweet of the Mariners trading for him last year, where they sent a minor league prospect to Baltimore and got Bizzardo back. And people were like, okay, like this guy's ever going to help us.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he spends like the best relief outing in the last 3 years in all of baseball. And then there was a Red Sox beat writer, Chris Cotillo, who we had on earlier this season during the Red Sox series. Bizzardo came up through the Red Sox system, and he had tweeted years ago, like, you know, Red Sox DFA Edward Bizzardo, you know, corresponding move. And then he quote tweeted him like, you just never know with these guys. Like, that's just how relief pitching is. You know, a guy can have a horrible year one year and then looks like the best reliever in baseball another year.
Yeah. Okay, we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game Monday, October 20th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through today. It ends today, October 13th. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Seahawks beat the Jags 20-12, and Mike McDonald now moves to 10-1 on the road in his career. What's the real headline?
The Seahawks won a game, and it took us 15 minutes to get here. I would just like to say that's my whole headline rewrite is I cannot believe that it is October 13th. The Seahawks are looking really solid to start the season, and the Mariners are so good that we hardly have time to fit this in.
Well, you said it in the sports pit. It's like we're here in October. The Seahawks are good, yet they're not the focus of this show. It's because of what the Mariners are doing, and that is something that hasn't been done on this show before. But to highlight what the Seahawks are doing, their defense played at a ridiculous level yesterday. 17 quarterback hits, 7 sacks. Before entering this game, Trevor Lawrence had only been sacked 6 times. 7 times he was sacked yesterday. Jackson Smith and Jigba, arguably the best receiver in the game right now, 162. He has 4 100-yard games this year. He had 3 his whole career up to this point.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold playing at a high level. It's fun to watch, man. And that defensive line might be the best D-line in the game, and I'm going to tell you why in 4-down territory.
That defense as a whole was short-staffed, and it was not lost on me how early in this game people were complaining about the defense, and I understand it. It was there was a drive the Jags had relatively early, I think, on their 21-yard touchdown, the one that was capped by that, where they were just winning matchups, wide open receivers, breakdown in communication. But that's also what happens when you have 3 defensive backs starters gone. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you can talk about depth all you want. The point of having depth is that when one of your starters can't play for a game or when they're out for a few snaps, then you still have a guy who's pretty good. Depth doesn't matter when that's making up your starters. It's just guys that aren't as good as the ones that you would normally choose to have out there. So I was so impressed by the pressure that they were able to consistently bring in this one.
Yeah, D-line. I mean, that's how you help those guys on the back end. You get pressure on the quarterback.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the 49ers lost to the Buccaneers yesterday, and they'll also be without all-pro linebacker Fred Warner for the rest of the season after he suffered a dislocated ankle on Sunday. What's the real headline?
Are the Bucs the best team in the NFC right now?
They're making a case for it, and Baker Mayfield is making a case to be the league's MVP as well. It's fun watching him play. 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dropped a dime to Tez Johnson. I believe his name is Tez or Ted. Tez Johnson yesterday. Yeah, I'm looking at them. I was looking at the Lions. They did take an L to the Chiefs last night, but they are definitely in the mix. You got to put some respect on their name.
Did you see, we don't have it coming up, Curtis, we didn't end up adding that to NFL headlines or anything, did we? Tez Johnson in the locker room. So you're right. So he throws he throws that touchdown pass, and then Tez is talking with reporters afterwards, and he goes, he's a rookie, and he goes, I just hear them chanting MVP, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like he thinks they're chanting for him, and then he turns to one of the veteran wideouts, and he's like, are you hearing this? Are they chanting for me? And the guy's like, no, you idiot.
For the quarterback. Only way you're considered for MVP is if you got 1,900 yards, and still that might not be enough.
He was making fun of himself. He offered that himself. He was like, so funny story. I did think those MVP chants were for me. I liked it. It was funny.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, big news out of the college football world yesterday. Penn State firing head coach James Franklin just 3 weeks after they were ranked as a top 5 team. What's the real headline?
I got to be honest, a $50 million buyout does rank as a top way to be fired, though.
Imagine this. I remember when I got cut by the Seahawks, I had to call my wife, and I was like, man, I got cut, and what are we going to do? We're trying to figure some things out. His conversation was completely different. Yeah, baby, I got cut, but we getting $50 million. All right?
It's generational wealth
it didn't work out for us.
It's the best thing to happen to us.
We were here for, 10 plus years. We did some great things, but baby, we chilling.
Million.
We chilling for a while. Don't you
They
worry
were
about it. Let's go.
Semi-finalists in the college football playoff a year ago.
Are you, now, again, back-to-back-to-back losses and some ugly ones, including one to UCLA that kind of shocked the football world last week. Are you surprised to see this?
I was.
Given that.
I was.
Yeah.
He's had the thing about Franklin is that he doesn't win the big game, and that's been his knock. I believe he's 0 for his last 13 against top 10 or teams or something like that. He doesn't, but Penn State has been relevant. You would think that with all he's done, that they would at least let him finish out the rest of the season. Not so much. And Oregon State fired their head coach too, which I saw coming because that is the worst D1 football team I've ever had to cover.
Okay, God, we have so much to get to today. So we're going to go plays of the game for the Seahawks. We are going to get to some Seahawks stuff. X's and O's talk at 11:15 with 4 Down Territory. So from 11 to 11:30, we've got some Seahawks stuff. And then we're pretty heavy Mariners. And that includes from 12 to 1, where we're all wall-to-wall Mariners. Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith going to get us started there. And then you've got, obviously, pregame show coming your way at 1 p.m. before a 2:03 p.m. first pitch for Game 2 of the ALCS. Coming up next, texting your questions to this one. Who's your postseason MVP so far?
Running on adrenaline. The Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
1 down, 3 to go.
Getting game 1 is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's Game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Do you need a new roof? Then visit 3treeroofing.com to get $500 off your roofing project by scheduling a free estimate. 3Tree Roofing's certified team builds a custom plan for your home using top-tier materials with industry-leading warranties. All of their install crews are factory certified to ensure that your roof can handle any weather Seattle can throw our way. Don't wait until leaks turn into expensive damage this rainy season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that need it the most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kind of like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when your legal problems hit biblical levels. That's why you can't wait 20 years to make the playoffs. You need help in court now. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when the giants you're facing seem 10 feet tall, or when you feel trapped in a lion's den of litigation. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems are biblical, contact Bible Law and let our talented team get to work. No matter the case, find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at ProSculpt.com.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there, and it was cool because you got to take them through and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with, and so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is. The Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studios, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Who's your postseason MVP so far for the Mariners? Text in your answer, 866-979-3776. My absolute favorite part of this entire segment is that you guys have been texting in so many answers, and it almost always starts with, it is obviously, and then like 5 or 6 different
Clearly.
5 or 6 different names. Now, my MVP of last night's game was Bryce Miller. Though he is not my answer for MVP of the postseason, and it's not because he hasn't been lights out and amazing and done his job. I have a different answer, though. But, Bump, what's yours?
It's tough, but it's not at the same time, because I think that you can make an argument for several players.
Yeah, you can.
Cal has had his moments. Julio has had his moments. Naylor has had his moments. Jorge has had his moments. Who else? The pitching staff has had their moments. If we're looking at the sheer numbers, right? Cal in the postseason, batting .400, on base .43, slugging .680, OPS 1100. His numbers are stupid. But when you think about the moments, and that's what's so tough about it, it's almost like the MVP conversation with Cal and with Aaron. It's like, yeah, you're going straight numbers. You're probably going with Aaron Judge because overall it looks better on paper. But you look at just the magical season that Cal has had, you have to go with Cal. So
in this case,
that's
straight
the problem
numbers
I'm
would be
having.
Cal.
Yeah, straight numbers will be Cal in this moment. But if we're looking at, or in this conversation, but if we're looking at moments, I'm looking at the big eyes of Jorge Polanco, and I'm saying, you are my guy. So because I'm doing that with Cal and Aaron, I have to be consistent in my approach and say, between Cal and Jorge, I got to go with Jorge.
Now, listen to me. When yesterday's game was in the top of the 6th, Cal hits his home run, Julio walks, and then Jorge comes up and gives them the first lead of the game.
The 3-2. Swung on, roped into left field, base hit. Julio steams around third base. He's being waved. Julio scores, and the Mariners have the lead. Jorge Polanco has been huge all postseason long. He's given the Mariners the lead. It is 2-1 in the 6th inning.
My answer became Jorge Polanco in that moment. That doesn't even include the 8th when he did it again.
Now the stretch and the 2-1 to Polanco, swinging a ground ball right side and through for a base hit. Here comes Randy on to score. From third down to second goes Julio, and Jorge Polanco, Mr. Timely, coming through with another RBI single.
From Gary Hill, Jorge Polanco postseason hits. Home run off Skubal for a 1-0 lead. Home run off Skubal for a 2-0 lead. A single, his only hit without an RBI. 15th inning walk-off single. 6th inning single for a 2-1 lead. And 8th inning single for a 3-1 lead. It's Jorge Polanco.
We're not even talking about him taking Skubal yard twice, neither.
Yeah, we haven't yet until Gary's point.
We ain't even talking about that. It's crazy how clutch that he's been. Again, numbers-wise, I can see Cal because he is balling.
There's a great case for Cal.
But moments, it's Polanco for me.
Yeah. Let's go to the text line. Someone said Cal, which I think is supposed to be Cal, but it's voice to text, and I love that. Jorge Polanco is the most common answer. Cal is, I think, the second most popular answer, but I'm seeing some other ones here.
There's some Naylor in there.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw you a couple other names I'm seeing. We'll start with Naylor because we've already made the case for Cal and Jorge. But so I'll read you. This person says Naylor. What case is there for Naylor? Because there is one.
Getting on base, right? I think that's been his thing. Scoring, 3 runs he scored, but he hasn't driven in any runs. But I do get that because you have to. Naylor is the guy who gets the party going at a middle school dance. Everyone's on the wall, scared to get out there, and Naylor goes, you know what? I'm a stanky leg out there. I'm going to get out there. I'm a stanky leg. I'm going to get everybody going. You guys just follow my lead, and then I'll just disappear. I got the party started. My job here is done. That's how I feel like Naylor's role has been for this ball club, and just emotionally, too, he's been there. Because his numbers they don't wow you. You know what I mean? No bombs, no RBIs, but he has been the guy to get on base, get the party started.
Yeah, he's had some quiet moments that when you look back, let's say you look at Game 3, you're going to look back and you're going to see 0 for 5 for Naylor. What you're not going to see is that his first at-bat was 11 pitches with 7 foul balls. Driving up that strike count. What you're not going to see is that fly out to center that he had in the third was just shy of being a home run, one of the hardest hit balls of the day. What you're maybe not going to notice if you look at him being the first run of the day and the second of Game 5 is the stolen base to third.
Exactly.
Which was pivotal for that moment because it ends up being a sac fly from Garver. So there's definitely a cool case for Naylor in terms of an unassisted double play to get to end.
In 2 games.
In 2 games. Yeah, like it's just, I think that there's a lot of good he's done that requires a slightly closer look at some of his work from that day. It's not going to be quite as obvious as, oh, look, 2 RBI, 2 hits from Polanco the other day. Oh, I clearly see this home run from Cal in my scorebook. But then you look a little closer and you see Naylor just making some clutch defensive plays too.
He's the clutch guy in the friend group. He gets the party going. He talks to the ladies first. He shows up with a full tank of gas. He's
tons of swag.
Everyone, we can go through the order and describe everyone's role in this thing.
How about pick another person?
Another one?
Leo Rivas.
He's more of like an honorable mention, right? It's a big moment, and it's his birthday. Happy 26th birthday for Rivas? I think it was.
No one can say.
A big moment, but honorable mention because he hasn't done enough, but he did come through one of the biggest moments. Funny story, when that moment happened, my Uber was just pulling up. And I'm taking off my bags, I'm putting it in the bag, and I don't even see it. I just hear it on my phone. Everyone starts going crazy, and I stop doing what I'm doing. And I'm yelling, and my Uber driver's like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you don't care about this." So in the Bay Area, it's the Mariners.
509 says the entire bullpen, absolutely. I think if you were to pluck specific people, maybe Munoz and Bizzardo.
Yeah.
Munoz, phenomenal. And Bizzardo getting out of a jam, too.
Well, Munoz was in trouble, too. You know, he came off. He was slipping on the mound. He wasn't hitting his spots. I think he walked, the first 2 batters or something like that. And then he started to figure it out. Munoz deserves some love, too. Bizzardo was, man, that was like watching your little cousin ball out at the cookout when you guys are playing basketball with the squad, and he just does something crazy and everyone goes nuts.
Yeah.
It was like watching your little cousin do something special. That was dope.
Joe in Bellevue, my friend at Friday's game, said Humpy was the MVP. Energy improved after he won.
Yeah, it was all Humpy. I think Lefko tweeted something about Humpy finally winning one.
Yes. Yeah, he had a video that was retweeted, I think, like talking baseball or maybe Pardon My Take. I was listening to Pardon My Take this morning, and they were talking about it.
Yeah.
Humpy went viral. Humpy might be an MVP honorable mention there. Okay, let's see, 253. I mean, the bullpen did cost us 2 of those games. Now's not the day, 253. Now's not the day. You're ruining the vibes, okay?
Good vibes only.
Yeah, good vibes only for today. Come on, we got 2 wins to talk about, 2 amazing wins to talk about. Get your head in the game, man. You sound like me. Don't be me. Be better than me.
I wish y'all could see these texts.
Be better
Stacy
than
is
me.
emotional roller
No,
coaster.
253. Be better than me. I am an emotional roller coaster. Let's see. Julio is a couple. Julio's bat's gotten kind of quiet, but he did have, not just Julio, a couple players had very patient at-bats yesterday that I was impressed by, because one thing I wondered heading into the postseason as a whole is, are they going to press? This is a big moment. If they get down, let's say 2 runs, are they going to start pressing? Are they going to start striking out? Are we going to see some bad swing decisions? But they were the more patient of the 2 teams yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, 2 games in a row, Julio was able to get on base twice via balls, right? 1 hit yesterday, scored a run. He was, first inning, I believe he got a hit yesterday, right, in the first inning, I believe. Yeah, so that's what you want from Julio, because if he's patient like that, he's going to get his pitch and he's going to drive that thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Honorary mention to Dan Wilson as well for a great Game 5 in terms of his management. There's been lots of good moments. I think we've got Polo 1, maybe bullpen and Cal are kind of tied for a second there. The starters have been absolutely amazing too. There is not a single credit for this, not a single starter where I thought that was the wrong decision to have him start.
Yeah.
Every starter's done his job.
Yeah, and big ups to Cal for going yard with that idiot behind him with that shirt on, if you guys know what I'm talking about.
It's a weird choice. It was a weird choice. Okay, sticking with the Mariners here. It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. What's something you've been right and wrong about this postseason? Time for some honesty here. That's coming up next on your home for the Mariners Pennant Push, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Running on adrenaline, the Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
One down, 3 to go.
Getting game one is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03, and there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs, Seattle Sports.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex Decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day DNA treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new leak armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com, a name you can trust.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, I think it's good and healthy to admit sometimes when you were wrong about something, just as I think it's a healthy ego boost to brag about when you were right. So I want to try both here. I want something that you were wrong about and you are willing to admit it. Willing to admit that you were wrong about that. And then something where you're like, you know what, though? I was right about this, and I feel so validated because this has been so fun to watch. Still joining this conversation. I feel like we're just having a day-long conversation with listeners. That's amazing. 866-979-3776. Bump, something that you were wrong about when it comes to the Mariners postseason, but are fully willing to admit it.
Yeah.
And then something you were right about.
Something I was wrong about, I never wanted to see Mitch Garver. I didn't want to see him at all.
And look at him.
And then what does he do? Sack fly, drives in a run. I think it was Naylor. He drove in. I was so wrong. In that moment, I'm like, man, why is he in the lineup? What are we doing?
I hate lefty lineups.
Dan doesn't know what he's doing. It says a guy who only played varsity baseball. You know what I'm saying? But I was completely wrong. And as soon as Mitch hit that sack fly, I thanked him. I prayed to him, and I worshiped him. So, Mitch, I apologize for not giving you the love that you probably deserved in that moment. He's a veteran bat. He's been to the World Series before.
Yep.
And that was probably part of Dan's thing. Obviously, the matchup as well, right? But he has been in these moments, and he came through. And I'm so sorry, Mitch, for ever doubting you in that moment.
What's something you were right about?
Something I was right about, that Cal was just going to go ham in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
good under pressure, man.
He does not get shook. And when I was watching the game last night, and we needed a bomb, when Cal got up to the plate, I told myself, here it is. He's going to do it. There's no reason for me not to believe it. So that's an easy one. But going into this playoff run, I felt that Cal needed to be that guy, and he was going to be that guy. And so far, 443, 680, 1,100 OPS, and got 2 bombs.
Yep.
He's been the guy.
Some listener ones here. 360, I feel 100% vindicated that the biggest plays and crucial moments haven't come from our top 3. But I was dead wrong that we were going to blow it if we had to go to extras against Detroit. The 206 said, I was right about Cal continuing to perform, but was wrong about the starters. I thought they'd struggle in the postseason. 206, I'm with you. That and maybe critiques about Dan would probably be where I'm at here. Another listener says, 425, AJ Hinch is a great manager. Our rookie manager, Dan the Man Wilson, stood toe-to-toe and landed a knockout. Dan Wilson deserves an apology. I thought he'd be outcoached in a Game 5 set. Someone said I need to issue a public apology to Jorge Polanco. When we re-signed you this last offseason, I hated the move. At the time, it felt like we were making another bargain bin signing, and I was mad we couldn't spend more money on an upgrade. How horribly wrong I was.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's I was wrong about. I wasn't excited about the Polanco deal, but I kept leaning on what I would hear from the guys that I know who are experts in management. Oh, well, the back of his baseball card. If he just plays at the back of his baseball card, he's actually a good ball player. And then his knee was all jacked up. Oh, we're going to move him to third. I'm like, why are we doing all this? Like, just find somebody who can do it. You know, you bring in Ben Williamson and try that experiment out. You know, you try some things. Bliss was the starter at second for a little bit to start the season. Yeah, I was willing to roll with those experiments rather than Polanco, and I was horribly wrong.
I was wrong overall about many things. One, I did not think the starting arms, we know that they were good, but they hadn't been as good overall this year, and we couldn't tell if it was injuries. Every single person basically had dealt with something. And I just thought, like, well, the offense has been so good, but what if they can't keep pace because the arms give up runs? It's the reason I wanted the Yankees knocked out, because I didn't want to see them in the ALCS. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Actually, the starters have been your pitching has been maybe the best, most consistent part of your team as a whole. It's been absolutely amazing. And then Jorge Polanco being amazing. But like I didn't love the signing of Polanco, but by season's end, it was clear that Jorge was pretty clutch. So I wasn't wrong about that heading into the postseason, but I was wrong about wondering if the arms would give up more. I was wrong about thinking Dan might cost them, and not like him. As everyone likes Dan, the nicest. Everything I hear is like he's the nicest dude. Like players love him, but I just thought I'm intimidated by AJ Hinch's experience. The lights get brighter, the stage gets bigger. Like, what if everything here is just too much for this team? I was wrong about that. I was wrong in projecting my nerves about being on this stage onto a group of men, coaches and players alike, who were ready to meet the moment. I was wrong to do that.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about Dan in these playoffs, and in that moment, we talk about these young guys developing and them getting experience and being in these moments. That was so big for Dan. Dan looked across the dugout with no expression. You know, you see Dan with his arms folded, kind of hunched over, no expression on his face, and stood toe-to-toe and made almost every move perfectly that needed to be made. I mean, to double pinch. You're double pinching, you're bringing in Rivas. I mean, I'm happy for Rivas. He's had some moments already, but no one thought that the young man was going to come through clutch in that moment. And I wonder if Rivas was even prepared in that moment. Did he even think that he was going to go in that moment?
No, he said he thought he was. God, I remember listening to the postseason thing. I think he thought he was going to be called to run for someone, and then. Similar to his walk-off.
Let me clarify something, too. People are still on Garver's head. I'm not saying Garver is somebody that I want in that lineup.
But you're saying that each
in that
AB,
moment,
in that moment,
I was like, no.
You
this
were like
is going to end horribly.
Leaving a runner
stranded. Why is he in the game?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want that lineup to look like that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Wrong. The Blue Jays offense was going to be too much to overcome, says the 508. But I think I'm right that the Mariners offense does need to catch a little more fire, or it's going to be a tough road ahead.
Yeah. 3 runs is probably not going to be enough every night.
Yeah.
At least not in Toronto, especially you're indoors. They got that home field advantage. Those fans are going to be crazy. The Blue Jays don't strike out. I believe they had the second least strikeouts in the game this past season. They put the ball in play. So, yeah, I don't think you can rely every game on 3 runs.
Yeah. I think being wrong about Polanco is the number one answer, but a lot of people saying that they were wrong about having some fears with pitching as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pitching so far I think has impressed the vast majority of listeners is what I'm gathering from our text line here. Okay, so it's a Reaction Monday, powered by Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. We're going Seahawks for about 25 minutes here. We got to get to plays of the game from a 2012 victory over the Jags, and then X's and O's, 4-down territory with bump at 11:15. That's coming your way next.
Running on adrenaline, the Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
1 down, 3 to go.
Getting game 1 is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03, and there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs: Seattle Sports.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit, brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's SHIBA program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function.
And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. We want to help get your unwanted items to those in need. Furniture and household items you plan on throwing away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill, and giving useful items a second happy home. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We work with over 20 nonprofits all over Western Washington to donate used items. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. Reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off, and take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Baseball's postseason is here.
And so does everyone in this building.
Seattle sports playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news minutes ago, the Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan. He ends his tenure as Titans head coach with a 4-19 record. Tennessee coming off a loss to the Raiders. They're 1-5, their only win being over the Arizona Cardinals.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
All right, we are going NFL here for about 23 minutes. X's and O's talk with Four Down Territory coming up at 11:15 right now, going over the plays of the game from the Seahawks 2012 victory over the Jags. And we are going to start, unfortunately, though, don't worry, it gets better, with the Jags highlight. This is Lawrence with a 21-yard touchdown pass to Brian Thomas.
1st and 10 at the Seattle 21. Lawrence, shotgun snap. Looks left. Now he's going to throw far side. Ball is caught. And walking into the end zone is Brian Thomas for a touchdown. And we've got some Seahawks players just sort of looking at each other. Who was supposed to be there? And nobody was. And from 21 out, Jacksonville jumps on top early here with the Seahawks, 6-0.
That was, I think, a total breakdown on that drive as a whole. Bump. Take us into not just that play, but kind of what you saw early from the Seahawks defense.
Well, specifically that play, it was a fake bubble screen, and then the receiver who was pretending to block for the bubble screen released. And I think the players they took the bait. Sometimes you run the right play at the right time, and guys get open. That's essentially what happened there. Probably the easiest touchdown of Brian Thomas's young career. I think they were just trying to fill things out that drive.
Yeah.
You know, you got to stop the run. We know that the Jaguars, that's their MO. You want to stop the run. So you're focused on that and rallying to the football. They just caught them slipping. Good call by them.
All right, well, things start to turn for the Seahawks here, end up taking a lead. They don't give it back, spoiler alert, but let's talk about how they got there. So right now we're looking at 2nd and 9, 15-minute mark. So we are just into the second quarter here. Sam Darnold finds Jackson Smith and Jigba for 32 yards.
Sam Darnold starts under center. Play fake, steps up in the pocket, has time, rifles one down the middle. He's got a man, Jackson Smith and Jigba, near sideline, out of bounds, inside the 25-yard line at the 22 of Jacksonville. Perfect pass, and JSN came a long way across the field to find that open area for 31 yards and a first down.
Okay, I do have a question. We're not going to get to the field goal as a highlight, but I do have a question about the goal line sequence with Charbonnet. But first, tell me what you saw in this play, and then I want to ask you about Sharp.
This is just JSN working the zone. This is what he does. And it's amazing to me that they haven't found a way to stop this yet, which is hard to do because when you're running...
You can't keep getting away with this.
When you're running that deep cross and you're playing against zone, you're passing your responsibilities off if you are the defender. And JSN has a good feel for that kind of stuff.
Okay, now I want to get to, unless you have it for Four Down Territory, it's not a highlight, but I just want to ask you what you thought about 1st and 10 from Jacksonville's 10. Charbonnet up the middle for 6. Okay, cool. That's actually a great gain. That's a very productive first down. 2nd and 4, no gain. 3rd and 4, minus 2 yards. They end up going with a field goal, 6-3 Jacksonville, and then, as you know, we're going to get to it, but touchdown, and then they don't look back. Some people were not happy with going run here. I thought it was maybe like philosophically trying to do the opposite of some of what they did last year. What did you think?
I think that they put on film that they will give it a couple tries with a run, and then hit you with a play action, and maybe they're trying to fool this defense, right? Okay. Me personally, I think Brian Walters would agree with me on this. I know he would because we were both talking about it. That's A.J. Barner territory now. You get down there, the run ain't working, use that play action to your benefit because the D-line and linebackers have to respect it, and A.J. shown he does a great job of maneuvering through that 2nd and 3rd level and finding some space.
All right, well, let's get to a defensive highlight here. So, again, they hit that 24-yard field goal. Right now it is 6-3. Jacksonville still leading, and Jacksonville takes over. So now we are at 9:41, 3rd and 8.
Shotgun formation for Lawrence with a slot to his right. Seattle's going to rush 4. Lawrence has time. Now he's going to go down inside the 5-yard line, and guess who? Big Cat. He lives in the neighborhood just down the beach here from Jacksonville, down near Daytona. He's got family and friends, and they are on their feet cheering for number 99. Big sack for him. A half a sack for Williams, a half a sack for Chenanwosu. And the punter for Jacksonville will be kicking deep in his own end zone.
Chenanwosu took that half of the sack. You know, when T.I. grabbed the necklace from Lauren London? That's what Uchenna did with that half sack. He said, give me that. Part of that's mine.
Yeah, that's what D linemen do. They see a quarterback going down, they just want to put a hand on it and say, look, half a sack for me.
I would be the merchant of doing that, just constantly.
And also he was my unsung hero because the last 3 games he's recorded at least a half a sack. So way to get in there and get yours again. Big Cat doing Big Cat things, man. One of the most underappreciated defensive linemen in the game.
My favorite thing about the next play we're going to get to, which is 1st and 10, 8:42, Seattle takes over a 61-yard touchdown pass to JSN, is that it's not even the only 61-yard pass by Sam Darnold that day. But let's get to the scoring play.
Sam Darnold starts under center. Horton wide to the right side. Play fake. Darnold has time. Gonna let it fly. JSN is out there. JSN has it. Touchdown! Seahawks! A spike in the end zone and a 61-yard rocket to number 11. JSN puts 6 more on the board for the Hawks. And that's how you loosen up that defense that is fighting you tooth and nail at the line of scrimmage. You throw over them, and the Seahawks explode for a big touchdown reception and go on top 9-6.
There's not a single defense designed to allow a 61-yard completion to anyone. So tell me what happened here.
This was just all on the safety. JSN does a good inside release. He plays faster than he tested when it comes to that 40. He ran like a 4.5, but he's really like a low 4.4 type of player.
Set the bar low. That's what I always say.
Exactly, right? Under promise, over deliver. That's what he does. But he inside release, he just gets vertical, and I don't know what that safety is doing. That is number 11, arguably the best receiver in the game right now. To your side, you get deeper than the deepest. His eyes get caught in the backfield. By the time he wants to turn and run and help that corner, it is too late. Inside release, go. I'm faster than you. The safety jacked up.
Okay, let's go to another sack here. We have so many to choose from. This one is going to be DeMarcus Lawrence taking down Trevor Lawrence. Loss of 9 here.
3rd down and 9 for Trevor Lawrence from the shotgun. Tootin in the backfield. Rush is coming. Lawrence gets hit. He's going to go down. Back near the 35-yard line. And it's D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence, coming off that left edge of the defense. Fights his way through, wraps up Trevor Lawrence, and from one Lawrence to another, the 3rd sack of the day for the Seahawks.
3rd sack of the day for the Seahawks. Spoiler, it would not be the last. Lawrence on Lawrence takedown here. Now this one was with 1:08 remaining, and pivotally, it's a 3rd down.
Yeah, and I mean, Lawrence is back. He's healthy. This isn't what he's been known for as of late, getting after the quarterback, more of like a run stopper type of dude. He did have some years where he had 14 sacks, 10 sacks, 6.5. But he's known for those TFLs and getting into the backfield. But this is what happens when you have other players on the defensive line playing at a high level. You can't account for everybody. So he's the beneficiary of, 1, being a good ball player, and 2, having his teammates have a good year as well.
To the 3rd quarter, Seattle gets the ball to start, and they're driving down the field right now. They've already picked up a 1st down, and they're about to pick up another. So it's 1st and 10, 12:26. Sam Darnold finds Cooper Kupp.
Barner sets as an offset eye in the backfield on 1st and 10. Play fake. Darnold throws down the middle. Ball is caught. Cooper Kupp, 30, 25, spins out of a tackle, 20, knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And listen to the Seahawks fans. Coop, as Cooper Kupp, his first catch of the day, goes for 30 and a Seahawks 1st down.
It's cool because if you're Jags fans booing, it still sounds like a cheer. This ends up being a series of some pretty good passing plays here. So you have Sam Darnold finding JSN. He kind of finds some space there for 13 yards right before Cooper Kupp. And then I would imagine there's something as a defense when someone's just picking you apart like that. What'd you see?
Yeah, you're right. This was a balanced type of drive here. You start with a 4-yard run, a 10-yard run, a 3-yard pass, 13-yard pass, which you just described to JSN, and then 9-yard pass to Cooper Kupp down the middle. What I appreciated this was the run after the catch. That's something that Cooper Kupp has been known for. Obviously, with his injuries and him getting older, we don't see that as much, or he's not asked to do it as much because the focal point has been JSN. But this was just hands, determination. You make a spin, get down the sideline. He had his best day as a Seahawk.
Also found the end zone as a Seahawk again. Darnold finds Kupp for 11-yard score.
Darnold out of the shotgun actually has JSN now with him in the backfield. Slot to the far side. Horton is the widest. Blitz coming. Time to throw. Back corner. Ball is caught. Touchdown! Seahawks! Cooper Kupp makes the catch. Sliding front corner of the end zone from 11 yards out. A perfect pass thrown by Sam Darnold, and the Seahawks extend their lead to 19-6.
What did Seattle do well here on this 11-yard touchdown?
Well, the route was beautiful. You're in the slot if you're Cooper Kupp. You have a DB that has inside leverage. Again, nerd receiver talk, B&B, while we're talking about this route. We both said, if you got a corner route, and you're in the slot, and that DB has inside leverage, you know he's done. He is cooked because I'm going to take this corner nice and high. But
Curtis and I always say that, too.
Oh, I know. I got it from you guys, actually.
That's right. That's right.
What Cooper Kupp does, he threatens that leverage, and he gets vertical, gets into the end zone, breaks off at a 45. The DB is still in decent position. The route was beautiful, but that throw, I mean, Sam Darnold put it where only he could get that football. All he had to do was turn around, and the ball was there. Moyer said this yesterday on our post-game show, and I think I'm starting to believe him. He said Sam Darnold is the most talented thrower in Seahawks history. And you think about it, the talent he has with his arm.
The passes themselves.
The passes themselves. I'm not saying wins and losses and all that. Russ had a deep ball. But the footballs that Darnold is throwing in coverage,
beautiful.
In the bucket, I mean, it's beautiful. Russ probably have the best deep ball, but we're talking about those intermediate footballs you put on the line. And we went through all the quarterbacks. He even went back to Craig. You know, we're not discriminating. We're gonna talk about everybody.
We're all the way back.
And we could not find one. I think at this point, Moyer is right.
Bump, Curtis and I feel kind of left out when you and Brian have your wide receiver conversations without us.
Yeah.
You want me to text you?
Put us in
Curtis be right
group
there.
chat. Yeah,
Curtis
that's
is
true.
there.
Yeah. So Stacy, you're the only one left out.
So I'm the only one left out.
Yeah.
Wow. Apology accepted.
FaceTime you next time.
Yeah, please
Stacey,
do.
it might mean you have to work a Sunday, though.
I do work on Sunday.
Sunday at 10 a.m. Or actually, no, you guys work at 7 a.m.
I work every single one of these games,
but
not at 7 a.m.
Road games mean you have to...
road games.
You guys,
you don't work road games.
I sit by my phone patiently in the press box and I look at it and I wait for texts from Bump and Brian and Curtis saying, we're talking football now. We're going to include you.
You know what Stacy never does, though? And I do it all the time.
That's not true.
I go
Whatever
over
he's gonna
and I
say
say
isn't
hello
true.
to her in the press box.
It's not true.
I go out of my way. We're on the opposite sides. I go out of my way. Say, hey, Stacy, how you doing?
I
And
wait
say
for you to
hello.
come over and say hi every
okay.
time.
So nice of you.
I took us off the rails. Let me put us back on here. Okay, we're getting into another drive here. So again, Seattle takes the 26th lead with that touchdown. Jacksonville takes over again. So on 1st and 10, Trevor Lawrence is sacked for a loss of 0 yards, split by Murphy and Nwosu. Nwosu, just the king of the half sacks right now. Then on 2nd and 10, he's sacked again.
2nd down and 9 out of the shotgun. ATN stays in the backfield. Here comes the rush again and again. Trevor Lawrence gets hit, gets bent, goes down, gets smashed. Holy catfish. DeMarcus Lawrence was there, but so was Chenna. Somebody got out of bed angry this morning because they're taking it out on Trevor Lawrence.
I love Rabel's call on this one. He gets bent, gets smashed, he's dead.
That was the theme of this game.
Unrelenting.
17 quarterback hits, 7 sacks. Trevor Lawrence was never comfortable back there.
Okay, so let's go to I'm going to end with a fun Seahawks play, but first we're going to get to Trevor Lawrence's 26-yard touchdown pass to Patrick. Just tell me what happened on this one. So this ends up being in the fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 10, 13:08.
Hunter goes in motion from right to left. ADN in the backfield. Lawrence takes the shotgun. Snap looks right. Tries to look back left. Now he's got to scramble. Now he dumps it over the middle. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Job was on coverage. He did a terrific job of covering until the very last second. Tim Patrick, a 26-yard touchdown reception. And Patrick, who hasn't seen a lot of action this year for Jacksonville, makes that touchdown reception, his first on the year. And that's one score back for Jacksonville, makes it a 20-12 game.
Now, look, they were going to get a field goal no matter what. Seattle still ended up winning. That score makes it 20-12, still a one-score game here. Seattle 8-point lead. But what'd you see on this touchdown?
Yeah, Job just stopped playing football for 0.5 seconds. He was on the hip of Patrick. Patrick's going inside. The scramble drill happens. He rolls back to the corner. And Job's in decent position, but that's why you always play to the whistle. He puts his hands up, barely misses the football. But because he stopped for 0.5, that created enough space for Patrick to get open.
Okay, let's get to our last highlight of the day. This one, and I love that this is a real thing. The second 61-yard pass from Sam Darnold. This one to Barnard ices the game.
Darnold under center. Darnold's going to roll left. Has time. Look, steps up, throws back. Wide open, Barner. Makes a catch, 40, 30. Cuts back inside 25, 20, cuts back outside, look out. Barner goes down at the 12-yard line. Are you kidding me? Everybody rolls left. Barner, A.J. Barner, goes back to the right side, and I mean he was open all day for a 61-yarder. Kubiak has pulled out of his bag of tricks a big play right when he needs it.
So, last play of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, not last play of the day, last play of our day here before we get to X's and O's. I know that you're still going to talk some Seahawks, so I don't want to spoil anything with 4-down territory, but I think that I'm continuing to be blown away by how explosive a passer Sam Darnold has been.
Yeah, and it's because of the offense, and it's because of his execution too, and it's because of JSN. That play happens because of JSN. JSN is running a deep cross, and just like he was wide open on the other deep cross, the safety says, this time I'm going to run with number 11. I'm going to pass him off through the zone. The corner passes him off to the safety. But what they forget when that safety rolls over, that there's an outlet. The outlet is A.J. Barner doing a deep cross the other way, so he gets wide open. This is what having an explosive wide receiver does for you, and a quarterback who just knows the offense and can read the safeties and manipulate him. A.J. Barner, the recipient of a 61-yard touchdown. A.J. Barner slowly becoming one of the better tight ends in the game, too.
Look at him. Look at us.
Look at him.
Look at us.
Look at.
It's a Reaction Monday powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Let's get to 4-down territory.
This is 4-down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what's something JSN's still improving on and it can take him to the next level?
He showed some of it yesterday. If you run zone against JSN, he's going to eat you alive. He is such a good wideout when it comes to the feel of the zone and tempo and all that good stuff. But his man-on-man route running is getting better and better every single year. Yesterday, he ran a post back to a dig and had the DB's hips flip the complete opposite way. And the reason why he's getting better is because he's understanding just his body language. He's his 20th pick overall for a reason. It's not like this guy doesn't have good routes, but the more film you watch, the more reps you get, the more you understand how to manipulate DBs. If you are one-on-one with no help, as a receiver, you feel like you should win that matchup every single time, and JSN is capable of doing that. That's what we saw yesterday. That's what I'm seeing more and more out of this guy. Please continue to run zone and have your safety not pay attention, because, I mean, He's got, 696 yards so far this year,
Crazy.
more than Puka Nacua. Puka was banged up yesterday, so his numbers are hurt a little bit. But, yeah, man, that one-on-one stuff, he's starting to get more better.
Second down. Speaking of wide receivers, how are the Seahawks wide receivers being unselfish?
They're being completely unselfish. So the deep cross that we talked about with JSN catches a football. On the opposite side, this is how routes affect each other. On the opposite side, you have Horton. He's running a corner. So what that corner does is going to take the DB with him. Is going to take the eyes of the safety, and the safety has to roll over the top of that corner route to protect. So what Horton does is called a bench corner. You're supposed to inside release so you get the DB's hips to flip, and now he has to run with you. That inside release also grabs the attention of the safety, right? And Horton is running this route knowing he's probably not getting the football, but he's going to get his buddy open. So because he inside releases, flips the hips of the corner, gets the attention of the safety, pulls everybody with him, guess who's butt naked on a Sunday? Once again, it is our guy JSN. So that's just knowing the scheme and understanding how you can affect the scheme and get your guy open. I love seeing stuff like that.
Third down. Why did the Hawks have the second best defensive box in the game?
And I say second best because I haven't watched film on the Denver Broncos.
Rude, we get
right?
it.
I'm just and,
no,
I'm,
you're a hater.
and I'm looking at the Broncos numbers, and it's crazy what they're doing over there. But they're second best because they're fifth when it comes to quarterback hurries. They're sixth when it comes to QB pressure
Not as good as
percentage.
Denver, apparently.
They're third when it comes to overall QB pressure. They're second in sacks, all while only blitzing 11% of the time.
Crazy.
They're getting after the quarterback. And the Denver Broncos, they blitz more than our guys over here. Where are the Denver Broncos? Find you. They blitz 25% of the time. All right, the Falcons the most in the league at 37% of the time. They are having crazy plays and pressure while blitzing 11% of the time, and they're top 5 in almost every major category when it comes to getting pressure on the quarterback. It's amazing what they're doing, and the bounce back was real because the week before you only sacked Baker Mayfield one time. And Mike McDonald said, enough of this badness. I got to get my guys going, put them in position to make plays, and they did exactly that. big ups to this defensive line, this box that the Seahawks have. And also, we're seeing less of Tyrese Knight. We're seeing more Drake Thomas. We're getting Drake Thomas, got Kendricks in there. Job is back there. Young Imawari's making plays. We haven't even seen the band play together yet for more than 50 plays. So, yeah, I'll say number 2 because I haven't watched film on Denver. I'll watch some film today, and maybe they'll be number 1.
Okay. 4th down. What's a real possibility for the Seahawks at the end of the season?
They can be division champions with the Mariners. With Fred Warner going out and the 49ers starting to take that dip.
Never happened.
I know you still got the Los Angeles Rams you have to go through. Haven't played them yet. Need to play the Cardinals twice. But the more I see this offense be explosive, the more I see this defense start to develop and get pressure on the quarterback, the more the Niners get banged up, the more I'm looking at this division and thinking they can legit win this thing. They've always been in the mix, but I had them battling for that number 2 spot. And obviously the Rams are a good football team as well.
Yeah.
They're winning ball games. But the Hawks are getting better and better every single week, even when they have a bit of a stumble with their defense against probably the best team in the NFC in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. They found a way to bounce back, and they should have won that game against the Bucs, right? A couple things go your way, and you're good to go. You make a field goal early in the game, maybe you win that ball game. But because they're getting better every single week, and guys are starting to really establish themselves, it's becoming more of a reality. Could you imagine you got 2 division championship banners that you're going to raise, one team that's making a run in the World Series right now. If the Seahawks can get into the playoffs, you never know. I'm not calling for a Super Bowl championship or an appearance or whatnot, but it's getting real, and it's because of what I'm seeing on film.
God, you guys sent me, I need to find it. Someone else posted this or brought my attention to it. It was the point differential in the NFC West. It was a tweet I need to find. But they pointed out that Seahawks at plus 49, Rams at plus 30. Statistically, they've been the 2 best teams, certainly 2 best offenses in this division. Cardinals plus 3, they're in 4th place. And that the first place 49ers are the only team with a negative point differential in the NFC West.
Man, Salah, Shanahan, you guys are going to have to coach these guys up.
You know who's down bad, unsurprisingly? The AFC North, where the Steelers are the only team with a positive point differential at plus 12. Bengals minus 80 right now, then minus 50, minus 64 for the Browns. AFC South, the division Seattle's facing that we thought, ooh, I like this. I like this matchup. 3 teams, not only 3 teams with a positive point differential, but the Colts with plus 78.
Goodness gracious.
Plus 78 for the Colts, plus 19 for the Jags, which granted you just beat. Plus 47 for the Texans, your next opponent for Monday Night Football, and then the poor Titans.
And let me tell you this, man. Don't sleep on the Texans. Stroud is having himself a decent season, completing 70% of his passes. Defensively, they're only allowing 12 points. This is going to be a good Monday Night Football game. The AFC South way better than what anyone expected them to be, especially the Colts. Man, what the heck is going on?
What's happening?
Remember, he's not Danny Dinesnore. He's Danny Dallas.
Yeah.
Danny Dallas.
Yeah, Danny Dallas. And Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yeah.
I like that one, too.
Yeah.
Really, really solid. I think that it's been long enough in a season. I get it if it's week 1 or 2 and you go, okay, is this just a phantom thing that's going to go away? When do I buy in? I think when you've been good as a team and we're about to head into week 7, you can just say someone's good.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a good season and then they don't have it again. Or maybe it's that they're healthy and then, you're just hoping you don't get hurt. But week 7?
Yeah.
Week 7?
I mean, and they almost beat the Rams.
In my childhood, that was halfway through the season.
They almost beat the Rams, lost by 7.
Yeah.
You beat the Broncos, a good defensive team. You blew out the Dolphins. We're figuring out more about the Dolphins as the season progresses. Please tell me we're talking about Tua. And are we talking about him? We don't have time. We're going to switch.
Yeah, we are. Why don't
we?
I'll use that as my tease. There's some really controversial Tua sound. I need to issue an apology, and a head coach has been fired. That's coming your way with the timeline. Quickly, let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
You don't even have to wait for tonight. It's game 2. The ALCS Mariners pennant push starts at noon. Pregame at 1 p.m. First pitch at 2:03 p.m. at Rogers Center. And it's also right here on Seattle Sports. Timeline next.
Running on adrenaline. The Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
One down, 3 to go.
Getting game one is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you don't want to go through all the hassle? I don't blame you. With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own car. So now here you are. You want to get the most money possible for your old car, but you don't want to sell it yourself. So what do? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your car and pay right up front for it, but it gets even better because once they resell your old car, they share half the profit with you. The question I get most is, okay, Stacy, but what's the catch? But there isn't one. It's simple. All the money they save by not traveling to buy cars at auction, avoiding purchase fees and shipping fees and travel expenses allows them to offer this deal. They'd much rather share that money they save with you rather than outside vendors. Now, they encourage you to shop around, but look, if Wayscar Ford can pay you the same or more as competitors and share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you go anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with customers. It's only at Wayscar Ford, wayscarford.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Hey Mariner fans, Rick Riz here. Steel deals are happening now, from instant savings on select power tools to free battery offers on some of Steel's most popular battery sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Save now on zero-turn mowers, blowers, chainsaws, battery packs, and more. Steel is the preferred handheld outdoor power equipment provider of the Seattle Mariners. For more details, visit your local Steel dealer or click steelusa.com. Steel, trusted by the pros.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968. Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that
I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, taking a look around the sports world. By the way, kind of a weird show today. It's abbreviated. We've got the pennant push coming up from noon to 1. All Mariners, wall-to-wall Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith going to join us at noon to get that started. And then it's the Mariners pregame show coming your way at 1 with first pitch for Game 2 of the ALCS at Rogers Center coming up at 2:03 p.m. Play-by-play right here on Seattle Sports or the Seattle Sports app. Make sure you download that as well. It's free. Let's head to the timeline. Did the Mariners salmon race have an actual impact on the outcome of Game 5 of the ALDS? First of all, raise your hand if you actually think there was maybe an impact. I do. I'm raising my hand. Thank you, Curtis. Bump, you can't say it wasn't possible.
The dugout reaction.
Bump, seriously?
Brian was so hyped for Humpy's win.
As he should be. You cannot say. Even Jerry DiPoto said it.
This team wants to move. They want to move forward. They want to shake the shadow of 40 years or 50 years or whatever's ailed us. You know, I think the real key to this was that Humpy won. And, you know, we got to the next level.
Yeah, Jerry, that was the real key.
That's the real key, huh?
That's absolutely what it was. After an 0-84 start to the season, Humpy the Salmon was finally victorious ahead of the 15th
Why would they do that to Humpy anyway?
What do you mean, why would they do what? Humpy did it.
These things are rigged.
He's built for
Those
this.
things are like,
he's built for fall.
It's like WWE. It's all like, it's real, but it's scripted.
You don't think Humpy's out there running for his life, fighting for his life, fighting for his team?
If he is, and you lost 84 times, hang him up. Hang him up.
But I think that's kind of the messaging there is like, you never give up. The Mariners didn't drive in a run for an extra 6 innings or however much more plus 9.
This is a lot better than your thank you argument.
What do you mean?
This is a lot better. You never give up. You keep after it.
Oh, God. That was not a bad argument.
I will never let you live that down.
What was wrong with that?
Thank you. If you have anything to say to the team, what are you going to say? Thank you, guys.
I was trying to leave the door open for people that would have different kinds of approaches.
Don't do that. Don't do that at the expense of the way I view your speeches, okay?
I'm just saying that I wanted to welcome all opinions. Also, Humpy absolutely does. There's some kind of indescribable feeling that the vibe of a stadium, of a park, can give people. Okay?
That's true.
Okay?
All right.
I'm just saying the tone shifted with
That's right.
Humpy's win.
Now, Bump, you hear stuff from Stacy and me all the time, and it's
Good
like
stuff.
It's like hearing it from family members. You just kind of roll your eyes, and you're like, I don't like. I hear it from you guys all the time. Like, I don't need to hear it. But what if somebody very close to this Mariners team had the opinion that Humpy had an impact on the game? I don't know. Maybe president of baseball operations, one Jerry DiPoto.
This team wants to move. They want to move forward. They want to shake the shadow of 40 years or 50 years or whatever.
You heard the man, Bump.
I heard
You know,
him.
I think the real key to this was that Humpy won.
Thank
you.
You know, and
we go.
We got to the next level.
We can't underscore that enough. You keep fighting with Jerry DiPoto. You're fighting with someone who knows this team more than anyone.
Yeah, you're right. He does know this team more than anyone. And I think he's doing a great job.
Do we need to play it again?
At feeding into the people. So good for Jerry.
I want to know who in the Mariners ops hit the break glass in case of emergency and was like, Humpy's winning tonight. Like, that decision had to come from somebody up top, because when you have a bit that goes on this long, 0-84,
yeah,
like at some point, like
the whole,
that's got to be an executive decision.
Yes, the whole joke was that Humpy will never win, but it's like the joke has to end.
This was great PR, whatever marketing. Whoever they're like,
whoever
you know
decided
what?
this was
Today
brilliant. Good.
He wins,
Yeah.
and that will be the motivating factor. Not just trying to win ball games in advance. You know, it's Humpy.
Let's take a listen to someone else after this game. Tigers radio broadcaster Dan Dickerson really did not want to host post-game recap of Friday's Game 5 loss to the Mariners.
Dan and I will be back to talk about it after this on the Detroit Tigers radio network.
And fragile.
I don't have to do a game. Oh,
You get tired.
this game recap. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that out loud? 3, 2, 1.
With Corwell Health, we are also strong.
It's the countdown for me after already.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. And 3, and a 2, and a 1.
You know what? Curtis and I were talking about this. I felt this way before. After the Hawks lose, I don't want to do this, man.
You guys saw my texts to you. I don't need to read them on air. They were all bad.
There have been countless games that I have had to do a highlight recap of that I don't want to do because it's a heartbreaking loss. So I totally get it.
Or just like a loss where there's not a single highlight. It's not
Yeah,
even like they
there's
fought through
plenty
this
of
one. Like,
those, too.
you've probably done a Mariners postgame, or Bump, you've done a Seahawks postgame where it's like, so,
the worst Mariners game I ever did a postgame for, they lost to Houston back in like the 2019 season. They lost like 22-1.
I don't even remember that.
And
I've scrubbed that
the
from my
Mariners only
brain.
had one hit that day.
Goodness
You
gracious.
just keep doing it on replay?
Yeah.
Let's take a listen to that hit one more time.
It was one of the most lopsided games I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's when you start
And
picking through stats and you go, 3
Yeah.
hard hit balls.
It was so bad.
Titans, next story, are firing Brian Callahan as their head coach. He went 4-19 over a year in charge in Tennessee. Greg Rosenthal charted out the wild amount of turnover the Titans have had in the last few seasons. Listen to this. December 2022, they fired GM John Robinson after a power struggle with head coach Mike Vrabel. Then in January 2024, they fired Mike Vrabel after a power struggle with GM Ran Carthon, and they hired Brian Callahan. Well, now, then in 2025, the Titans fired GM Carthon, and then Callahan helped to select the new GM, Mike, is it Bargonzi? Bargonzi? Yeah, Bargonzi. And then in October, the Titans have fired Callahan.
The guy he helped hire fired him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
After previously, the guys that helped hire other dudes fired each other.
It's the NFL, man.
It's Game of Thrones, apparently.
No one expected the Tennessee Titans to be good, though. They just don't have enough over there. But when you fire a guy like this midseason and you look at their roster and you don't see a playoff caliber type of team, that means that there are other things operational wise that they don't like about him. Maybe it's leadership, the locker room, the meeting room, whatever. Yes, you have to win ball games, but you got to be real too, man. I mean, big ups to Tyler Lockett, but he has like 12 receptions or something like that for 75 yards. You don't have a number one receiver over there. Your running back situation is bad. The defense isn't good at all. Bring in somebody else, and you're going to get the same result. So hit the reset button and good luck.
All right, 2 more things here. Let's head to Miami. Fingers being pointed there after the Dolphins' 1-5 start to the season. Same record as the Titans, by the way. Tua Tagovailoa sounded off on Sunday.
Well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
To be clear, you're saying some players were late or missed?
Late, yeah.
Players being late to meetings, leadership not doing enough to guide guys. What did you make of Tua's comments?
This is Tua just has to be okay with dealing with what comes after this, because he's got to go into that locker room. He has to go into the building, and he has to look the guys in the eyes that he's talking about without naming their names. I think it's a bold move. I think that it shows just how desperate he is over there. He did have 3 interceptions, so it's not like he's playing his best ball. But we all know that, football's connected. If some guy doesn't do his job, he can compromise another guy's job. But I think that the days are numbered over there for McDaniels. I think when you think of a head football coach, he's never fit the mold. He's always been, the guy who does things a bit differently, and it worked for a while. But at some point, there needs to be some type of discipline on a football team. And just from what I get from his personality, it don't seem like he's the type of guy that will lay down the law.
I don't mean to laugh, but the 360 said, let's not forget there's a real person inside of Humpy's costume. What?
He has feelings.
What?
Or she has feelings.
Someone else said, you're being a little too harsh right now. You're making fun of their running skills. You need to remember there's a real person in there that's trying their best.
It's all rigged, man.
Stop it.
Rigged.
What if they're trying? And you're being a hater.
If they're trying, like I said, hang them
Maybe
up.
Humpy's the heaviest costume. He's got a little inner tube. Someone else said Humpy was at the Kraken game and the place went wild, which brings me to my final point here. Am I sorry that I said the Kraken should be more aggressive? No, I'm not sorry about that. Let me be mad at the start of the season, okay? They are 2-0 to start the year. So that was my not even a correction. It's my early kind of like, okay, well, I guess we'll wait and see. I want them to be
division, baby.
I know. Congratulations to the Kraken on a 2-0 start. I want them to be more aggressive and competitive, and I was angry to start the year. And I said they're gonna be awful.
2 games in.
They're 2-0. 2 games in. Only 2 games in. I'm not even sorry anymore. You're right. I shouldn't be. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on Monday, October 20th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest ends today, October 13th. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know.
Running on adrenaline. The Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
1 down, 3 to go.
Getting game 1 is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Who knew caffeine could taste this good? With 5-Hour Energy Shots, caffeine just got a serious flavor upgrade. We're talking big flavor, from watermelon to strawberry, banana to sour apple, packed into a tiny 2-ounce bottle. You'll get as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee with 0 sugar and 0 crash. And with 17 bold flavors to choose from, there's a shot for every mood. Find your favorite flavor in-store today or grab a variety pack online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon and give your caffeine a flavor upgrade.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Rain is coming. Is your roof ready? The rainy season is approaching fast, Seattle, and 3 Tree Roofing has your roof replacement covered. Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Their professional installers guarantee a seamless replacement this rainy season. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
John here with Happy Hauler. We want to help get your unwanted items to those in need. Furniture and household items you plan on throwing away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill, and giving useful items a second happy home. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We work with over 20 nonprofits all over Western Washington to donate used items. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. Reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at SnoqualmieValleyHealth.org.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in now for what I need to know. 866-979-3776. What I need to know, says the 541. Last night at a convenience store, I bought a 6-pack of Miller Lite in support of our darling baby boy, Bryce Miller. Apparently, the barcode wasn't in the computer system, so the cashier only charged me $8. Am I a terrible person for not telling her I was supposed to be charged closer to 12?
Nah, it doesn't affect her. She good.
I don't think you're a terrible person.
Nah, you're not a terrible person. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if you did, but you're good.
I'm trying to think if I don't think I would have said anything. And I do try to do the right thing because I believe in karma. And I don't like the idea. Like, I think things can come back and bite you if you don't do the right thing. In that moment, with a difference of maybe 3-something, you know, like maybe $4, but probably not over, I probably wouldn't say anything. Maybe she was doing you a favor. Maybe she intentionally chose a cheaper one because she was like, you seem cool. Go Mariners. I don't know. 866-979-3776. Do people in the Pacific Northwest have an accent, says Moses in Walla Walla? I personally
Everyone has an accent.
Don't think we do.
Everyone has an accent.
No, but hear me out. Listen. Hear me out.
I think you're just perfect up here.
Well, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, to someone in like Louisiana, I have an accent that is very noticeable to them and vice versa.
Yeah.
However, I think being on the West Coast it's slightly less pronounced because think of all the Hollywood movies. They just sound more like someone from the West Coast than not because everything's based in California.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I think that there's a huge segment of pop culture that sounds most like a very generic West Coast accent.
Yeah, but you still have an accent. You just said it. You go down
What if
south,
you
they're
could
going to be
choose-
like, you're from
yeah.
the West, for sure.
What if you could choose another accent to have?
I'm good with this one.
Really?
Yeah, my family down south make fun of me, though.
What do they say that you
why,
say
why
funny?
you talk like that? You talk all proper and stuff? I don't know. That's just
okay.
the way I talk.
So it's not like when, British people say something and we go, oh, really? Like they just repeat every single word.
Nah.
I
they
just stop myself from doing that with Add and Dirty because it's rude.
I tell my family down south, like, I don't understand what you're saying. you understand what I'm saying?
I don't understand what you're saying. 866-979-3776. Wally says, when I moved to the South, they didn't say I had an accent. They just said I talked too fast. So I've been told I talk too fast by numerous people. Listeners will say that. How much coffee today, Stacy? I'll be like, okay, I'll slow down. Sorry.
Sometimes it's because
My
we
bad,
have
my bad.
information we want to get out. And it's like, I gotta get it out. Gotta get it
Yeah,
out.
I'm also a fast talker.
Yeah, you are sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a fast talker. Listeners will let me know. What I need to know, other than supporting Bryce Miller, why on earth would you pay $12 for a 6-pack of Miller Lite? Well, I think there were 16 ounces. I'm moving on. What I need to know, is it bad juju to wear a jersey of a player not on the team anymore during the playoffs? For instance, Haniger, Kelnick.
Nah, you wear that thing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fine.
My homie was wearing a Seager jersey, last night.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Someone said you cheat on your golf scores.
Do I? No.
Okay.
No.
Isn't there an app that you use where we can like see your golf scores and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see it,
Oh,
but
so we
I
need
could
to track
say
and make sure
I
you're
got
telling
a
the
4,
truth.
and when I really got a 5. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people cheat like that.
So it's like a honor code kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's the gentleman's game.
Exactly. What I need to know, what's creepier? Very thin mustaches or spiders? Spiders.
Spiders.
Yeah, definitely spiders. I hate spiders. Thin mustaches are just, look, you're trying your best.
They're kind of back in now, aren't they? Or at least mustaches.
Dude, Gen Zs, my Gen Z kings and queens, primarily kings in this case, love mustaches. Matt.
Yeah, they're all into
Why
that.
are you laughing?
It's because you had to specify mainly kings.
Mainly kings, but maybe not exclusively. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Let's see. I don't like this question. I don't want to choose between Mariners and Seahawks. Have you ever been to the East? We talk too fast. Have you been to the East Coast?
Yeah, I've been to the East.
Yeah, I've been to the East Coast.
Yeah. They're just really aggressive the way they talk.
Sometimes I dig it.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate it.
They get their point across,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
My sister's boyfriend is from Queens, and there's definitely an East Coast vibe that's like, I find him incredibly likable, but it's because they're very like, I should say they, not everyone, but like authentic, to the point, blunt. They also, this is his claim, if anyone from New York can tell me whether this is a thing, he claims, and I think it's insane, that they say online. Like, oh, I'm online for that. Like, you're in line.
Really?
I don't know if that's like
Oh,
really
that's weird.
isolated to Queens or like Brooklyn or something.
It's interesting.
But yeah, apparently they say I'm online right now.
I'm online.
To mean like, oh yeah, you get online over there. And like, I hate it. I hated hearing that. Who's the worst quarterback? Tim Tebow or Justin Fields?
Tim
Tebow got him to the playoffs, though.
And won a game, I think.
Yeah,
I think Justin Fields could have won a game on that Broncos team.
Oh, you mean
Facts.
Justin Fields on a Jets offense that had -10 passing yards over the weekend?
I think Justin Fields
We're
is
disrespecting
probably
Tim Tebow.
Justin Fields is probably the better quarterback. Tim Tebow's just a winner. He just wins.
Justin Fields, I will hold space, Curtis, that Justin Fields on that particular team might have done a better job. I think Tim Tebow was fine. He would have been just a fine career backup, but went into other stuff instead. And that just was a horrible performance from the Jets. Last one, 866-979-3776. Someone's letting me know that saying online is a New York City and Jersey thing. That's so stupid. Tell them I said that's dumb.
That sounds legit. I can hear them saying that.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. Get online for it. I'd be like, so you have to do it online? They'd be like, no, you just get online over there. I'm like, so what? I go over there, is like Wi-Fi over there or something? Like, it's a real who's on first
There's
moment.
got to be something we say that doesn't make sense too, though.
But no, I don't think so.
There's got to be something we say.
Online already means something.
It does. There's words with double meanings.
I don't think there's anything we say that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the world revolves around us all
Yes.
year, huh?
Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith joins us next on your home for the Mariners pennant push, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Running on adrenaline. The Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
One down, 3 to go.
Getting game one is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Just like our favorite baseball team, Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington is stepping up to the plate. Mention Go Seattle when you book, and you'll knock it out of the park with 15% off and 12 months, no payments, and no interest. Schedule today before this deal is gone.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing. Mention you heard it from me and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Hey Mariner fans, Rick Riz here. Fall is here, and it's the perfect season to power up with Steel. Made for America and trusted by the pros, Steel is the preferred handheld outdoor power equipment provider of the Seattle Mariners. From the ballpark to your backyard, Steel's battery-powered tools deliver the performance you need. Want a discount on your next online purchase? Just text the word Mariners to 26931 to receive a special offer. Text Mariners to 26931. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners beat the Tigers in Game 5 of the ALDS in 15 innings Friday to advance to the ALCS, and then took Game 1 of that series last night thanks to a Cal Raleigh home run, 2 RBI singles from Jorge Polanco, and of course 6 brilliant innings from starter Bryce Miller, pitching on short rest. Credit to him for that one. Logan Gilbert on the hill today for Game 2. Bit of a surprise there with that one. First pitch at 2:03 p.m. Pregame show at 1 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Welcome to the Mariners Pennant Push.
The Seattle Mariners are champions in the American League West.
Special pregame coverage counting you down to first pitch in the American League Championship Series.
It is on its way. It is history. Cal Raleigh stands alone.
The countdown to first pitch starts now.
Aaron Goldsmith joining us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. And Aaron, I am so grateful. I was telling Curtis this when I got here. I'm so grateful that they took Game 1 of the ALCS because I want to also talk about Game 5 of the ALDS, and I worried we wouldn't be able to do it as much if people were kind of bummed coming off a Game 1 win. So instead, we have like 24 innings of baseball that we get to talk about. And because of that, I am going to start with Friday. Just at what point did you go, okay, not only like this is longer than I thought, but like someone has to win, right? Because I would say for me, it was around the 12th or 13th where I started going, surely this can't keep happening.
Yeah, well, even though it was different than Game 3 back in 2022 against the Astros, after like the 12th and 13th and 14th, you were starting to get those vibes again, right? Mostly the vibes of, is this going to end in great late extra inning disappointment like it did a few years ago? And that game, we'll never see a game that is exactly like that one ever again. That was an all-timer. To see all three of those starting pitchers all pitch in the same game was just bananas. And that was one of the greatest games almost everybody in that ballpark has ever witnessed in person. So that was a pure joy to watch. And obviously to see them win it with just going all chips in. I thought it was a brilliantly managed game by Dan Wilson. What was a very difficult game to manage. It was pure October poetry. There's no other way to put it.
What's it like for you staying just mentally focused and engaged? You know, the longest game I've ever called was Wazoo went to a double overtime with San Jose. And I felt myself at the end of that just being like mentally just tired. Like you're excited, you're locked in, but you feel something. What is that like for you?
Yeah, it can be exhausting. I don't remember feeling that way necessarily in Game 5, even though it was such a long game. but it is something where I think you're constantly trying to kind of look ahead from both managers' eyes and see what's the next move coming. Like, what if they do this, they'll do that kind of thing. And when will it be Gilbert? For how long? When will it be Castillo? For how long? I think, third time through, it's got to be Spire here, right? I mean, like those kinds of things. To me, that's one of the really fun parts of calling a baseball game, is trying to think along with the manager. And it's harder in October because the rules are different, as we all know. And especially in a game like that where it's win or go home. But to me, for as exhausting as it was really energizing, because you knew that you had to keep up with it. You had to try to figure out what was coming next, or else we'd kind of all be in the dark, and the listeners would be somewhat in the dark. Not that we had it all figured out. We certainly didn't, but it was our job, at least, to try to keep up with the game as best we could. And to me, it was such a 1 in a million kind of game that it did kind of give you that extra wind you needed, even though it was such an emotional game, because you had to continue to look forward to what might be next, because whatever it was next could decide the game.
Sticking with the manager conversation for just a little bit longer here, and then we'll get to all the players that we need to talk about, and including in Sunday's win over Toronto. But I want to go back to just kind of a constant comparison and contrasting that was happening between A.J. Hinch and Dan Wilson. And this was on a national broadcast as well. It was part of a national conversation. And Aaron, you know why? It's because it was a very, very obvious discrepancy between managerial experience in general and especially in the postseason. So when the series began, I think there was a big conversation about is Dan getting too cute starting Kirby, or not taking Kirby out for Spire? Oh my God, there he goes. It felt like there was a lot of, understandably, kind of, oh, Dan is getting worked type conversations, and then it gradually became, oh, Dan is now outsmarting or outplaying, and that pinch hit move just, I think, highlighted a lot of that. Did you genuinely see Dan Wilson growing in his thought process, or do you think it was maybe an unfair portrait of his thought process to start?
Well, I'll tackle a couple of those things maybe individually. In terms of like who to start in game one with Kirby, I think that's a collaborative effort. I don't think that's something that can be that's not decided upon by one person. This baseball's a lot different today than it was in 1980, where maybe just Lou would have picked who the game one starter was. It's just different now, and I think that's a good thing. You have a lot of smart people for all organizations who have a piece of the pie, and ultimately, I think that's an organizational decision, not just a Jerry, not just a Dan, but an organizational decision. So it did end up working out for the Mariners, but I don't think that was Dan Wilson, and that's not a knock to anybody. I think that's a testimony to the way that a modern day baseball organization runs. I think Dan learned a very quick lesson in game one when Kirby stayed in. I think, and I can speak to the fact that he learned it because he didn't make the same mistake the next time when he then had Spire come on to face Kerry Carpenter. Now, as we all know in baseball, sometimes the wrong decision yields the best result, and sometimes the right decision yields the wrong result, right? Like this, because ultimately they're human beings. I thought Dan making the call to bring Spire in to pitch to Carpenter in that final game was the absolute no-brainer move. And what did Kerry Carpenter do? He hit a home run. I mean, that happens. Gabe, who's been absolutely sensational all season long, he left one right over the plate, and Carpenter made him and the Mariners pay the price for it. Now, fortunately, that was not the deciding swing. But I think the double pinch hit move, which I can't remember seeing in a game, maybe once in the last 10 years, and I'm just going to be kind of gracious and say that I've seen it one time, and I can't remember when it was. I mean, that is like the most old school National League, like Whitey Herzog type of baseball that I haven't seen in, like, I feel like my entire adult lifetime. For him to do that and outmaneuver the Tigers in that moment was remarkable. I remember when it happened thinking, gosh, I don't know. Would I rather have Garver facing Finnegan, who's got reverse splits, so there is maybe some favor for a righty here. But I'd rather have that than Canzone against a lefty, even though Canzone has, as we know, he's hit lefties better this year, noticeably better. But maybe the right-on-right matchup is the better move. And we go to break, and I kind of slide my headset off, and I look at Gary, and I say, gosh, yeah, I don't know about this. I don't. Neither option was great, to be clear. But like, if you're gonna flip a coin, maybe I flip it to Garver. I don't know. And then I look at my book where I've got all my bench players written down, and I'm thinking, okay, who else could you bring in here? Could you do a double pinch hit? And there wasn't really another option. And I saw Leo Rivas' name there, and I said to Gary, I go, oh gosh, I mean, you wouldn't hit Rivas here, right? And then all of a sudden, here comes Rivas. And in that moment in time, it's one of those things where you think, you know what? Who knows if this is going to work? And because it's baseball, it probably won't work because the odds just aren't ever in the hitter's favor. But man, I love the gamesmanship here, and I love the strategy. And let's see if it works out. And sure enough, the rest is history. So I thought that was and even then, I'm sure that was a collaborative move. I'm sure Manny was a part of that. Obviously, Dan. Just really, really great collaboration in that dugout. Dan is obviously the man who's got to make the final decision, and he did it. And credit to him. I thought it was just top to bottom, just a brilliantly managed game.
Yeah, it did make for great conversation, Goldie. I'm sitting at a bar top in the Bay Area, and everyone became a skipper in that moment and had their own opinions on stuff. And I was sitting back just listening to all the skips at the bar top. But I wanna talk about last night. Obviously, almost the worst start you can have for Miller. First pitch goes yard. Everyone's going crazy in Toronto. How was he able to kind of calm himself down and get himself out of that moment?
Well, in that moment in time, when Springer hit that fastball over the wall for a home run, my initial thought was, you know what? You probably weren't going to win this game anyway. Like, the things are stacked up against you 10x coming into this one tonight. And you're so shorthanded. And speaking of shorthanded, Miller's obviously on 3 days rest. He's never done this before. Biggest start of his career. Insanely hostile environment. You're like, you know what? Try to go get tomorrow. And little did we know what the script would be from there. I mean, that was just one of the most inspiring pitching performances this franchise has had in decades. Just remarkable guts, remarkable fortitude, the mental strength to move on, not just from that pitch. I mean, I think moving on from a guy who's got now the fifth most postseason home runs in baseball history, moving on from him taking a yard on what was a pretty quality pitch to begin the ball game. Like, that's one. I think most big league guys, like, you get to this stage in your career, like, you can move on from that. But to throw close to 30 pitches in the first inning on a day where you know that you're short to begin with, to let that not get in your head, because you know, like, you just shaved easily an inning off of your day, realistically, right? Or you're going to probably, if you're fortunate, you're going to probably get through the order twice. So for him to be able to not just really labor through that first inning, but then flip the switch and become the best version of Bryce Miller for 5 more innings, and to do it as efficiently, economically, and just hot knife through butter like he did, and quiet that crowd, was absolutely insane. Hat tip and then some for Bryce Miller. I mean, he might have, in that one start, helped send the Mariners to the World Series. We'll see how the rest of the series plays out, obviously, but the Mariners winning that first game has put them in a position that is, I don't think many people thought was possible going into last night.
Well, let's look ahead to not just the rest of this series, but kind of what we are hoping to see or must see from this team. I have a very genuine question here about expectations for offense. And I know that I'm asking this after a win in Game 1. And I know that I'm asking this after a win in Game 1 in which the opposing team had just 2 hits in a run. That being said, Aaron, as you know, entering into this game, the bats had been a little quiet. And this is a team that, right, they're third in home runs during the season. The whole narrative during the regular season had been, wow, this offense is blowing us away. Isn't Cal's season cool? And you know, look at JP turning back on here, and sure hope the arms can step up. And the starters have been phenomenal. They've been absolute nails in the postseason. And I think most of my questions, Aaron, have been, you know, can we see playoff Randy? Can we see a little more from Gino? So my question is maybe a suppressed offense just entirely normal and expected in the postseason and kind of everything's fine here? Or is there something you're still waiting to see specifically from the bats here in Seattle?
Well, I do think it's unfair to think that you will have the same type of offense in October that you had in September, where the Mariners had arguably the best offense in all of baseball in September. And it's simply because of the pitching, right? I mean, just look at how the Mariners are matching up against other teams. So guess what? The Mariners aren't the only teams in October who have great pitching. I mean, even the Tigers, I mean, how many multi-inning outings did we see from Will Vest, right? Who's filthy. And that's just one guy. So the point is, I agree with you, Stacy. You're not typically going to see, right, 5, 6, 7, 8-run games in October. It's just not the way the game's played because the pitching is too good. That being said, I came into last night's game saying you're not going to win this series against the Blue Jays and get to the World Series by scoring 3 runs a game. And then the Mariners won game 1 by scoring 3 runs. So I think one thing that is inspiring about the Mariners is they do have the personnel on both sides of the ball that enables them to win games in a variety of ways. When you have the pitching that they have, both in the bullpen and certainly in the rotation, we know it because we've seen it for years. You can win low-scoring games, absolutely. And when you have a lineup that has 25 home run plus power, 1 through 6, you can win games where you slug it a little bit because you're going to hit it over the fence. So that is a good thing. That being said, it does seem really hard to hold down this Blue Jays lineup that just pounded Yankees pitching for 4 games by and large. It does seem really hard to win 4 out of 7, scoring 3 runs a game. That being said, the Mariners could do it because their pitching can be that good, and more importantly, has been that good so far through 6 games of the postseason.
Goldie, you said that after that first bomb, you're thinking, all right, you're probably not going to win this one anyway. And, it's a game-by-game, pitch-by-pitch kind of thing. How are you feeling coming into this one? Logan's on the mound, I believe, right? And have your feelings changed about, the capabilities of this team? You think they can sneak 2 out of here? Just how did you feel before last night, and how do you feel today?
Well, I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody with the club since it was announced that Gilbert would be starting tonight, since Dan announced that post game. I was under the assumption that we would very likely see Luis Castillo tonight. I feel like Gilbert pitching tonight is just the ultimate, like we're going for the jugular tonight is what it seems like to me for the Mariners. I mean, if you're the Blue Jays now, I mean, just think about this, the way that this has all unfolded, just one game and now coming into game 2. Think about this from the Blue Jays perspective. Going back to last night, you lost a game you had to win. You were at home with your hand-chosen ace that you could line up and rest for game 1, going up against the last starter for the Mariners on 3-day rest. And you lost in front of 45,000 of your own fans. You lost that game. And now you've got a guy who has already pitched well in the postseason, who has a track record of major league dominance in Logan Gilbert. Now, granted, he just worked the other day in extra innings, so it might not be the full Logan Gilbert experience. But nonetheless, you've got him now in game 2 with all those lefties and switch hitters that the Blue Jays have in their order that he can counter. And now you got to go home and face Castillo at T-Mobile Park, Kirby at T-Mobile Park, and at some point, sprinkled in there is going to be a side of Brian Wu. Like, that is a gauntlet, man. Do the Blue Jays have a lineup to handle that? Yeah, if there's any team that could combat that, the Blue Jays should feel good about it because that is truly one of the most unique and powerful lineups in baseball that doesn't strike out, puts the ball in play, makes an insane amount of contact, like they did last night. Credit to them. They just didn't find hits. And they can hit it over the fence. I mean, it's a no-joke lineup. But still, great pitching, great speed hitting 9 times out of 10. And the Blue Jays are going to see a lot of that starting last night and continuing tonight.
Mariners took a 1-game lead in the ALCS. Game 2 today, 2:03 p.m. First pitch, 1 p.m. pregame show. He is Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith. Thanks, Goldie.
Thanks, Goldie.
Hey, great being with you guys.
Your lineup today: Rosarena, Raleigh, Rodriguez, Polanco, Naylor, Suarez, Canzone, your DH, Robles, Crawford, Gilbert on the hill. And Curtis, you said you saw a uniform announcement for today.
Yeah, bringing the
you
Teals
and Bump are
back.
excited about it.
The Teals, they're back, baby.
Horrible news.
Undefeated in the playoffs with them. It's only right that we see.
What was the last Teal game?
Yesterday.
Was it game 3? Oh. Dang. Oh, I wish I liked teal. I do. I don't.
Why don't you like teal?
Because I don't like teal. I don't like fuchsia. They're just things. Why do you not like?
Why are you so mad at me? Because I don't.
Because I don't need to explain myself anymore. That was just talking a little bit, kind of reflecting on game 1 for just a little bit longer here. We're going to hear from Dan Wilson coming up in about 10 minutes. And then take a bit of a look ahead to game 2 tonight. But just to kind of take a little bit of time, specifically maybe about Bryce Miller's performance. This is what he said after the game.
We've always talked about, like, sometimes maybe you should just skip your bullpen and pitch on 4 days. And that's what we did this week. And so, going into it, I felt good. Fortunately, I threw 55 pitches, I think, in Detroit. And so I still felt fresh, and coming off of a 15-inning game in Seattle 2 nights ago, I wanted to get deep and give our bullpen a chance, and I was able to do that.
Cal credited Bryce with using all of his pitches, locating them well, so he wasn't super predictable. I just continue to be, I know I can't stop talking about it, it's so annoying, but Bump, I continue to be blown away by what Bryce Miller was able to do. This coaching staff was hoping he'd get through 4. Just get us to 4. Maybe you go through the order twice. Like, that's, if you can get twice through the lineup, then we can turn the bullpen. Instead, he goes through 6 and gives up 2 hits.
Especially after that first inning. I'm like, yeah, 3 or 4 innings.
Right.
This is the type of night it's going to be.
Oh, I was like, is he going to get through 2?
Yeah, then he locks it in, man. It's always great when you go in with a game plan, right? And you have to adjust, but in a good way. When you go with game plans, you have to adjust in a negative way. Then it stresses people out. It puts people in a certain position you don't want them to be in. Mm-hmm. But when you exceed expectations and you go out there and you perform at a higher level, man, that's a great feeling, because it's not just the pitching staff and the coaches who know the game plan. The players are aware of the game plan too. They know, man, if he can get us through 6, we should be okay, because our arms aren't rested. Mm-hmm. We had a long game on Friday. And no, it was I loved Bryce Miller breathing too. I would see him just calming himself down and breathing and staying locked in and focused, because he knew the situation. That's what makes that performance so much better, Zach. Yeah. You know how crucial this is. You give up a bomb on the first pitch, 27 pitches in the first inning, yet you calm yourself down, you put together a good outing.
Stacy saying she doesn't like teal is literally saying she hates fun.
I mean,
I wish I liked it. You think this makes my life easier? It doesn't.
The more colors you like,
it makes it easier if they continue to win. And they won last night.
There's just certain things that each of us are programmed to not really have it resonate with us. Some people don't like cilantro. You know what I mean? Some people don't like dessert, which I think is weird, but they just don't. It's not for them. And that's how I feel about teal. I've tried so hard to like it. It's just something about the color, the way it, the rods and cones in my eyeballs, it doesn't work for me. I'm just saying, it doesn't. I will try, okay? I will try.
Please.
For the good of the team, okay? For the Mariners getting this done today. You think they get a bomb today?
Yeah, Cal's going to do it.
Cal? Get 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cal's got it.
Okay.
He loves it in Toronto.
Curtis, prediction for today? You can't choose Cal.
Dom can zone. We're stepping into the can zone today.
The can zone, not the can't zone.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have named him that if he couldn't do it.
Thank you, Matt. Who hits a home run today? Matt, there's a game being played today at 2.
We got to get to a break.
Okay. Okay, well, let's go.
Running on adrenaline, the Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
1 down, 3 to go.
Getting game 1 is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, It's Game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03, and there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs, Seattle Sports.
Things are getting spooky around here. Bump here, and fall is my favorite time of the year, obviously, for football, baseball playoffs, fall golfs, the leaves turning different colors, and seeing everyone in their costumes. What's not to love? This year, I want to start a new tradition. Make the easy drive up I-5 to Silver Reef Casino Resort. They have everything you need. Deluxe rooms where you can actually spread out and feel relaxed and comfortable. I can head downstairs and watch the games on their big screens at the sports books while grabbing a bite. Then head outside for tea time at Loomis Trails Golf Course. I have race you can't beat for a course that nice. There's waters, there's trees. It looks back into a forest where for a couple of holes, you feel like you're the only group out there. While I'm golfing, the missus can check out the spa. We'll meet back up for a delicious dinner at either the steakhouse or the cantina. Sounds like an awesome trip. You should do it off I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop, and boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Back to Mariners Pin and Push on Seattle Sports.
Dan Wilson speaking with reporters at Rogers Center. Let's take a listen.
Dan, Randy Arozarena has obviously forged a pretty good reputation in postseason from, things he's done from a few years ago. The 2 stolen bases last night. He said last night that he really raises his energy level for the playoffs. Have you seen any of that in these, 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of guys raise their energy level in the postseason, and Randy's certainly one of them, and he's had a tremendous season for us, just the things he does, whether it's offensively or defensively, obviously the home runs at another 2020 season for him, but what he does on the bases often is a big part of our offense, and especially in that leadoff spot, getting a chance to get on base and advance 90 feet via the stolen base. And, he does bring a lot of energy to our offense, and those 2 stolen bases last night were big.
Go to Tyler on your left, Dan.
Dan, just to jump off that, the stolen bases were big, and Naylor's stolen base the other night was big. You guys stole a lot of bases. How much of that was by design or philosophy in terms of just something that you want to get into your run scoring?
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys I think are very smart base runners and have a lot of freedom when they get on base. And they read it very well. And we've talked about, especially, Josh Naylor and his, just the way he sees the game and the headiness that he plays the game with. But all our base stealers, do a really good job. Eric Young Jr. over at first base, really helps those guys tremendously. He's been such a great addition to the staff, and just in some of the things that they try to cue on and work with when they're trying to steal a base. So these guys do such a great job preparing our guys, and then our guys run with it. And pardon the metaphor, but they run with it, and they do a really, really good job. And it's again a big part of putting pressure on the defense and trying to get that extra 90 feet.
Other questions for Dan? Rick?
Danny, what could you say about Jorge Polanco coming up with so many big hits and crucial clutch situations like he has, then 15th inning and the home runs up at Scooble last night, 2 RBI singles?
Yeah.
How does he slow the game down?
Polo's just, he's just a professional hitter. I don't know how else to describe it. And the way he's been able to do that all season long, he got off to a torrid start for us and put up some huge numbers, especially home runs early in the season. And then his at-bats continued to be so solid throughout the year. And then lately here has just, come up in key situations and really delivered for us. And, being able to slow the game down, as you mentioned, both sides of the plate. I think, there's a lot of confidence in the left side and the right side at this point. And he's just, found a way to deliver in those situations. And it's been huge. And it's, he's come up, those 2 runs last night to put us ahead, number 1, and then to give us an insurance run, number 2. You can't emphasize how important that was, and he just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and he's really doing a great job delivering in those situations.
1 row ahead, Ryan.
Dan, you watched Brian's live BP. What did you see from him, and do you think we'll see him pitch when you guys return to Seattle at some point?
Yeah, I thought it went really well today. Again, looking at different things in terms of his velo, and in terms of how he was throwing his secondary stuff. It looked all really pretty solid today. And then, again, the next sort of check mark is how he responds to that tomorrow and how he comes back. I think, again, as we've seen, his progression's been pretty steady, pretty on the mark. And I think if he comes back tomorrow and feeling better, then I think we're on a good path to seeing him later in the series.
We'll stay right there.
Dan, on that note, obviously your starting staff, people have thought for a while is the best in baseball, and then this year there's kind of an avalanche of injuries and one thing happens after another. But to reach this point and to have them be what they've been in the playoffs, which I think is what you probably always envisioned, how important has that been and how important is it going to continue to be?
Yeah, I mean, your starters are so important. And, I think what we saw from Bryce last night was just phenomenal. And that's a huge outing. And each of our guys have done that at some point in the season and have really stepped up. But when you start putting those back-to-back together and each outing is each guy's trying to kind of outdo the other guy, that's when you've got something really special. And this is that kind of a group. And we've seen some really big outings here in the postseason. We've seen these guys even come out of the bullpen, give us a big outing. So these this starting staff, you can't say enough about them. The uniqueness that they have in terms of how they push each other, how they encourage each other, all the things that go into the bonding of that group together. It's a special group of starters, and you really are excited to hand the ball to each and every one of them, and in a postseason, that's a really good feeling.
Right.
Dan, you mentioned how important the mound visit was from Cal last night in the first inning. Bryce doesn't even remember what Cal said to him. Logan said that Cal will often come out there and just stare at him and not say anything. I'm just curious, when you were catching, what was it like going to visit Randy on the mound or Jamie on the mound, or those kinds of mound visits?
Yeah, I remember having to look up to Randy, so that's an oddity. I think oftentimes pitchers sometimes just need a beat. They just need to kind of slow the game down for just a minute and get out of whatever rhythm they were in. And I think whatever Cal said to Bryce last night, maybe that was what it was. It was just kind of a beat, a chance to kind of disrupt the momentum that was going the other way, whatever the case may be. I think Cal has a really good intuition in terms of when to go out there. And clearly that was a great situation to go out and kind of change the momentum, and it seemed to really change the momentum, permanently for Bryce, and coming out from that point on, it was pretty special.
You didn't say anything bad about Randy or Jamie though in those mound visits?
No, of course not. No.
Yeah, one row ahead.
Dan, with going with Logan today, who do you expect to have start for Game 3?
Yeah, right now Game 3 will be George Kirby. Game 4 will be Luis Castillo.
And what went into the decision on slotting those guys in that spot?
I think, a lot of it, again, just kind of where we stacked up rest-wise, how everybody's feeling, and kind of made the most sense, in terms of the matchups and whatever with Toronto here. So I think we're in a really good spot with our starters, and, be interesting to see today with Logan. Again, we'll kind of monitor the same way we did with Bryce, coming off of a bullpen, kind of a different routine than he's normally had, the bullpen that was in the game. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Do a couple last ones for Dan. Annie on your left.
Dan, I was going to ask if you feel like your pitching staff's in a better spot today, given what you got from Bryce and the efficiency from the bullpen yesterday, too.
Yeah, I think that's, kind of maybe the underrated part of what Bryce did last night was, number one, it set up our bullpen for the game last night. It was giving us those 6 innings was tremendous. But it did kind of give us a little bit of rest too. Bizzardo didn't have to throw last night. Other guys didn't have to throw last night. So it sets us up, kind of going forward here too. As it turned out, so on so many levels, that was a big outing from Bryce, and certainly with our bullpen and with our other starters, it came up huge.
One last one for Dan, if there is one. We'll finish with Hazel.
Hi, Dan.
you obviously have a lot of information in advanced scouting on Trey Savage, but what are the challenges of never having faced this young man until game 2 of an LCS?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's, I think one of the things about baseball is guys catalog when they see pitches and pitchers, and that information gets, sort of recalled when they get to they see him the next time. We don't have that with Savage. This is going to be a first time for all of us. It's a unique delivery. It's a unique release. It's another split finger. All those things I think will be very, key for our guys in their first at bat or two to kind of, be logging that information. And that's the great thing about baseball. It's a game of adjustments. You have to make your adjustments, and you have to make them quickly. And offensively, that's what we're going to have to do with Savage today.
All right, that was the latest from manager Dan Wilson. Coming up next, let's continue to look towards Game 2 and beyond in the ALCS. Your preview.
Running on adrenaline, the Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
1 down, 3 to go.
Getting game 1 is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's Game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03, and there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs, Seattle Sports.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com, a name you can trust.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when you've got legal problems so biblical, not even an Etsy witch can turn your court case around. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when your ark is lost in divorce or when a whale swallows your defense attorney. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems hit biblical proportions, contact Bible Law Group and let our talented team of lawyers get to work, no matter the problem. Find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. Furniture and household items you plan to throw away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. from the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs, Seattle Sports.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from two Swedish CyberKnife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about CyberKnife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish CyberKnife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
Lafferty's EMS reminds parents to enroll your kids in a positive youth program. Sports, hobbies, and community activities improve overall health and performance in school. These programs decrease drug use and violence and develop self-discipline and leadership skills. Let's team together this year to help our kids reach their full potential. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Lafferty's EMS in Ballard, the ship's medicine chest since 1974. Online at Lafferty'sEMS.com.
This is Mariners Pennant Push
on Seattle Sports.
All right, getting you ready for Game 2 of the ALCS. Toronto and Seattle face off. 2:03 p.m. first pitch, 1 p.m. pregame show. We're sending you right to it in 15 minutes. Before we do, let's take a listen to the latest. This from ESPN's Jesse Rogers.
You're supposed to give that game away. You're supposed to punt that game. They didn't do that, and it certainly looked like they would in the first inning. Bryce Miller settled down. He was the star of that game easily. Of course, Cal Raleigh did his thing, but the fact that they just won that game is such a boost. It's so obvious. I mean, Blue Jays need to win today, or you can pretty much call it, because the boost Seattle will get if they sweep there will be amazing.
Now, I'm by no means a Blue Jays fan. I think it's always a little premature in a best-of-7 to say if they take Game 2, just you might as well call it. However, even teams that take Game 1 in a best-of-7 advance 64% of the time. So taking Game 2, that's a tough hole.
Let's get it, though. Logan on the mound. You know, why not? Let's seize the moment. You weren't supposed to win that game. It started off in a rough way, going yard, or Miller getting taken yard the first pitch. But since you snuck one, why not sneak two?
Eric Kratz on Foul Territory talks about today's pitching matchup.
If you delve into Trey Savage's why his pitches are unique, then hitters can start to formulate how they're going to approach it. When they see that slider spin, technically that thing, it backs up. It doesn't go away from a right-hander. So guys are going to have to start swinging in that direction. The Yankees, unfortunately, were a kind of a guinea pig against Trey Savage. They hadn't seen him. They hadn't seen much. So can they do it? Yes, they can do it. Does the Mariners pitching staff have to show up and essentially throw up zeros or ones? Yes. Historically, or so far in this postseason, that's what they've had to do.
Favored to get over 5.5 strikeouts today. I think that he'll probably get that done. But again, I like Seattle's offense in the postseason. I think, I just want to see a little bit more of it show up. I'd love to see Gino. I know he had a double yesterday that missed being a home run by inches. Would have been a home run in 15 other ballparks, including T-Mobile. But I'd love to see him get that or something like that today and just heat up a little bit more.
Yeah, here's the thing, too. I was listening to Big Papi and A-Rod and Jeter in the post game, and, you know, they made a good point. Even though the Toronto Blue Jays has lit up the Yankees pitching staff, they're like, look, there are going to be games. Most games will be like this just because the pitching is that much better in the playoffs. That's how you get here, right? You got to have great offense and produce runs, but you're seeing the best guys out there. Unless you play 15 innings, you're going to see the best guys on the mound. So, yes, I would like a bit more production, at least more traffic. I didn't feel like there was a lot of traffic last game. But we also got to realize, these are the best teams in the game right now.
A really interesting matchup to me is also going to be the decision to go to Logan Gilbert, which I love, but a pitcher with a ton of strikeouts, which is great, against a team that does not strike out a ton. I am shocked, I think most Blue Jays fans are, that it took 100 pitches to get through that game yesterday. And a credit to Seattle. Absolutely amazing. Fewest pitches to win a postseason game since the Dodgers in 2018, that from Sarah Langs. But Logan throws a ton. That's been good for him this year. He's facing a lineup that typically hits for contact a little more often, certainly more often than they did yesterday with just 2 hits.
Yeah.
Kind of a battle of 2 strengths here.
Exactly. I like how if you are on the stream, the visual Stacy gave was 2 fists going at each other.
I'm a visual learner.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. It's we know who the Blue Jays are. They hit for contact. They put it in play. They don't strike out. And Logan has, over the past couple of years, been one of the best in the game when it comes to striking the ops out. So, yes, it is a battle of 2 forces. Which one is going to overcome? I think that if Logan is Logan and Toronto is less of what they are, I think we got a shot. And I just love how aggressive they're being with putting Logan out there, too. I'm with that. They could have easily put out Castillo or Kirby or someone who doesn't typically perform well on the road and say, all right, let's just save it until we get home. No, they see a moment. And I like that because you are the underdog. The underdog has to make moves like this, have to be aggressive, especially when you do something no one thought you were going to do, which is win game 1.
Toronto outfielder Anthony Santander was removed from today's starting lineup with lower back tightness. They are rolling out mostly the same lineup. Schneider and left. He ended up pinch hitting yesterday, so you saw him a bit later, but he'll be starting this game. Let's go to Logan Gilbert here, talking about getting that start in game 2.
We talked about it today, and they basically just asked me if I was good to go, and of course I said yeah right away, and they wanted me to see how I felt in catch play, if my arm felt normal, and it did. So it was kind of unusual circumstances a few days ago, but I don't know, treat it as a bullpen, or very high intense bullpen, and hopefully just be feeling good, ready to go.
Again, was really, really cool to see Logan come out of the pen in game 5. He joked that now he's only going to be walking out with like fire. It's got to be really cool now. That's got to be every entrance. But I'm with you, Bump. I like the decision to go with Logan. Now you're starting on the road, and if hypothetically for the ALDS, starting Kirby and Castillo in 1 and 2 at home was because you like their home road splits, then this philosophy would still follow. It would make sense to start Logan today. But I liked the way Aaron described it as just being kind of like a cutthroat decision and really getting after it and being really aggressive. And I like that mentality from the Mariners in this series, who, while a very, very good team, the number 1 and 2 seed facing off, we're still not favored here.
No. I think once you get to this point, there's no more, this is what you should do.
There's no bad teams at this point.
Yeah, there's no more, this is what you should do. This is the line you should put out. And now you have to take everything that you've been through, all the information that you have from your data, from your team to this point, not who they were during the regular season, to this point, and say, what is the best move for us right now? If the Mariners would have lost that first game, I don't think Logan's going to be on the mound today, right? Being in a situation where everybody who has an arm down there threw on a Friday, and then going to the decision saying, well, we have to play one of these guys. Let's go with Bryce Miller and put him out there. It's just every decision is so amplified at this point, and it's going to be scrutinized, especially if you lose. Everyone's going to point out, oh, you should have did this, you should have did that. But at this point, you look at your team for who they are, and you do your best to put them in a position to succeed. But I heard, I think Goldie was talking about it. This isn't just Dan's decisions too.
Oh yeah,
right.
Whole organization.
It's an organization type of thing. So hopefully everyone's on the same page, and I know they'll do what they think is best, but I hope it just works out that way.
I mean, honestly, I have now just let go of having fears about a starter. I'm not saying that you can't have tough outings, but they have blown me away. Pitching as a whole, bullpen, starters, every arm with this club, I've been so incredibly impressed with so far in the postseason. Bizzardo was amazing. Munoz has been stellar. Castillo and Logan coming out in relief on Friday, and then Logan turning it around and starting today has just been amazing. I think this will come down to, can the Mariners bats. Now, you're not going to be as stellar as you were in September, but you were number 3 in home runs entering this season. That was the strength of your team. The strength of the Mariners in 2025 was their offense. It was their bats. It was the depth of their lineup, which is not something I thought we'd be saying. That needs to show up, because how you get to and win a World Series is that your pitching is looking exactly like it is right now, doing its job, and then those bats start to really show up. And again, we talked about Jorge Polanco being clutch, being our postseason MVP so far. Cal OPSing over 1,000 right now, but I think there's just one or two more that I'd love to see. I know it's hard to come by. In
One
the
or two more
postseason.
what, like performances, like someone to stand out
just
and do the thing?
like a really good day from Dom, or it doesn't have to be exactly playoff Randy. Playoff Randy, frankly, stealing 2 bags and making a great catch yesterday. That's enough playoff Randy. Like, I'm cool with that version. But, I think just a little bit more, because to your point, exactly what you and Goldie said, I don't know if 3 runs a game gets you all the way through this series.
Yeah, a little more. And just be able to play the type of game that's needed in that game.
Yeah.
If it's a shootout, all right, let's shoot out. If it's a close one, let's have a close one. So,
Right.
be a chameleon.
So you have Cal getting a home run today.
Cal's going yard. Back-to-back games.
Curtis, you're taking Dom, Can Zone.
Dom Bomb Zone.
I'm going to say Naylor. I'm going to go with Josh Naylor on this one. I thought about Gino.
The Canadian.
But I'm going the Canadian. Gets a home run in Canada on Canadian Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. All right, let's go to the Mariners pregame show. It is coming your way next.
Running on adrenaline, the Mariners show the Jays they're in it to win it.
Gone! Oh, Canada!
1 down, 3 to go.
Getting game 1 is obviously a big momentum shift for us.
Today, it's game 2 of the ALCS in Toronto as the Mariners go for a 2-0 series lead. First pitch at 2:03, and there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs, Seattle Sports.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at SnoqualmieValleyHealth.org.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff Coverage